first-class best of 87. And he's only played a handful of games. He did make a 50. I'm sure he made a 50 in one of those 4-day games in India.
Yeah, so I mean, that's very promising signs, and from a left-armer seamer point of view, that's exactly what South Africa are needing as well.
Jansen in. Oh dear, that's gone horribly wrong. That's gone a long way down the leg side, and he knew it the moment it came out of his hand. He thought, oh dear. And it's actually very good work from Dane Villas, diving full length to his right. Just got his right glove onto it and prevented 4 byes, but they have gone through for 1 bye.
But also, I mean, he's tall and gets a little bit of extra bounce, and obviously with age you'll probably learn little things, just get him a little bit quicker. He's up around 130, maybe 135 at max at the moment.
Jansen in once again, and that's pushed away behind square on the leg side by Janneman Malan, just past square leg, and they go through for a single. It's a heck of a investment of faith that the Durban Heat have shown in him. As I said, before the tournament started, he'd played 1 T20, List A T20, and so you going into a tournament like the MSL, you would have thought that most teams, most squads, would have been looking for a bit more experience, maybe thinking, he'll be good next year once he's played a few more games. That one is another wide outside the off stump, swing and a miss from Quinton de Kock. But obviously, Gary Kirsten may not have seen much of Marco Jansen himself, but he was in charge of the player draft, and there would have been enough voices in his ear saying he's worth it.
Yeah, no, there would have been. I mean, there's been a lot of talk around Marco Jansen and the capabilities and what he does possess as a young left-arm seamer. So there's definitely been a lot of talk around that.
Here is Jansen once again, and de Kock now flicks it nicely off his pads out towards the square leg boundary. And again, they go through for another single.
And I mean, just to come back to Jansen as well, in terms of him being selected for that SAA side that toured India, and perhaps at the moment more likely to feature in the longer formats, the 4-day competition. But then again, he's saying that the MSL 2.0 is you want to see your younger generation get opportunities at a high level.
Here is Jansen again. Down the wicket comes Janneman Malan, launches it over long off. What a shot! That's a terrific strike for 6. Just so quick on his feet. Hop and a skip, bang, picked the length, guessed the length right, I should say. And he's got 6 runs, and suddenly there's 12 off the first over. Back in a moment.
The battlefield of Newlands Cricket Ground will host the Mzansi Super League action between Cape Town Blitz and Durban Heat. The legends of the game, Blitz coach Aswell Prince and Heat mentor Gary Kirsten, will lead their teams in a crunch encounter this Thursday, 28 November at 5 p.m.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
Tune in live to SABC 3 and Radio 2000. SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun, for all.
Don't miss Tanizo Mazwai's intimate show live at the Lyric Theatre, Gold Reef City on Saturday the 30th of November.
Hello everybody. Thank you so much for having us here. My name is Tanizo Mazwai.
For one night only, catch King Ta up close and personal. Tickets at CompuTicket from 250 Rand. This is a Baseline Live production presented by Radio 2000. Our music, your memories.
Kyle Abbott with the second over for the Durban Heat. This is game 18 in the Mzansi Super League 2.0. Cape Town Blitz against the Durban Heat. Quinton de Kock won the toss for the home side and decided to make first use with the bat of what looks like a very good pitch. He certainly felt that it was, and get the runs before the sun sets is the idea. Here's Abbott again down the leg side. He'll have to bowl that one again. Out go the arms of umpire Alahadin Pelakar, and Kyle Abbott was one of the first players onto the field this afternoon, marking out his run up at both ends and reacquainting himself with some old friends. He and Dale Steyn spent some time together catching up before this game started, as Abbott is thundering in once again, and that one back of a length in towards the rib cage and turned away by de Kock down towards fine leg where Jansen fields.
Yeah, Kyle Abbott, I mean, he's been brilliant. He's playing his trade in England at the moment at Hampshire, and He really is enjoying his cricket in the UK. Also had fantastic figures in the first class competition, 17 for 86 versus Somerset in a four-day first class match. That is simply phenomenal.
70, you know, I mean, there are bowlers who, with the odd niggle here or there, miss the game. They go through a whole season and take 17 first class wickets. That one is chopped away out towards the cover boundary by the right-handed Yanaman Malan. I mean, I remember, you know, that there have been several South African bowlers who, you know, they pick up maybe 17, 20 wickets in 4 games. They've, you know, had a few injuries, whatever. Then that's their season's work. And then he did it in 1 game. 17 for 86. 3rd best figures in a county championship match. And the best for 100 years. As Abbott is in once again and pushed away by de Kock out towards mid-wicket. And straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. Wian Lubba. And there's no run. I won't kid you about the crowd. It's a disappointment, but then again, I was speaking to the ladies who operate ticket sales, the ticket office here at Newlands, and they said that they had a sense that because of it being Black Friday tomorrow, I'm not really up on my on what that means exactly. I know it's a big sale. Short, pulled away by de Kock, behind square on the leg side, all the way into the seats in the President's Pavilion for 6 runs. Gosh, he picked up that length very, very quickly. There were 5,200 here at Newlands on Sunday, even though it was a 10 a.m. start, but not much more than 1,500 at the moment. And they did say ticket sales have been very slow.
Yeah, 6 number 152 in MSL 2.0. And Quinton de Kock, he's been brilliant he's played this shot so many times in this competition, where he just uses the pace and he's able to work it between deep backward square leg and fine leg, and normally it just keeps flying off that bat.
Abbott once again runs away from us from the Kelvin Grove end, and de Kock opens the face of the bat and runs it down towards backward point. It's gone straight to the fielder, Andile Petlekwayo, and there's no run. So 12 off the first over, 9 off the second. Blitz choosing to bat first, 21 without loss after 2. Back in a moment.
Nubian Music Festival, 15th December at the Eagle Waters Resort, Hattabia School. On stage, Lira, Mikasa, Thandiswa Mazwai, Judith Puma, Ringo, Amanda Black, Mafiki Zolo, and Persona, DJs KB Mulupiani and DJ Fresh, MC Semi Fever and Kenny Libiani. Tickets available at CompuTicket for 300 rands and VIP 1,500 rands. Nubian Music Festival in association with Motsweding FM. No bottles allowed.
Newlands Cricket Ground will be divided into 2 this weekend as Cape Town Blitz and Tshwane Spartans change their gears to another level. It is the Battle of Battles this Sunday, 1 December at 1:30 p.m. live on SABC3 and Radio 2000. It is Blitz versus Spartans.
Oh my word. New balls, please. That is out of the stadium.
SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast fun for all.
Get amazing Black Friday deals at Sleepmasters, like the Edblow Barrel Queen Base set at 2,999. You save a massive 1,500 rand. Or the Restonic Bazaruto Queen Base set at only 4,999. Save 1,000. Offers valid until this Sunday while stocks last. Sleepmasters, the bed experts.
Andile Petlekwayo has taken over the attack from the Weinberg end. I think it's fair to say, has not had his best tournament, but very limited opportunity, of course, with 3 washouts. But in the 2 games, he has been expensive with the ball and hasn't really had an opportunity with the bat, as he's in once again. Driven by de Kock, high and handsome and over the top of mid-on, who was inside the circle and was desperately, furiously backpedaling in order to try and get there. But I think he has actually overhauled it, hasn't he? He's managed to keep it in. They've kept him down to 2.
Yeah, I think it's Alex Hales who might have done extremely well. It's just it's on a length. Quinton de Kock just extending those hands over the mid-on region where Alex Hales was up in the circle. Bounced twice inside the field. Yeah, he's done absolutely fantastically well. Alex Hales to keep that down to 2.
Sprinting towards the rope, and he was He was actually in mid-air over the rope when he managed to flick the ball back, as de Kock now drives flamboyantly outside the off stump, but to no effect because he's missed it. So what do you make of Andile Patlakwayo's field? His two men on the boundary are at deep square leg for Quinton de Kock and fine leg.
Yeah, it's interesting to have third man up at this stage, especially when you're bowling over the wicket, because you tend to go across the left-hander and then, creates a little bit of width. And we've seen Quinton de Kock hang pretty much outside the line of leg stump to open up the offside for himself.
Patlakwayo in once again. De Kock now gives himself some room, and Patlakwayo follows him. He's stepped outside the leg stump. Good piece of reaction from the bowler, and de Kock has to play defensively. The score remains 24 without loss.
So in saying that, that'll obviously, his lines have to be, he's got to be very, very spot on with in terms of his lines here, especially with deep backward square and fine leg on the boundary. You feel that he's got to be pretty much on leg stump, so he only can be worked for one, rather than be hit for a boundary through the offside.
Here's Patlakwayo again. Oh, and a wild swing from de Kock here. Really fancied that one. Picked the length up early. And it's one of the few occasions that Quinton de Kock may have been guilty of trying to hit it too hard. He was aiming the other side of the railway line with that one. He's missed it.
Yeah, I think if he did connect, it might have been in the breweries. But he's really swung hard as Quinton de Kock. Andile Patlakwayo often, he's got that wicket-taking ability in white ball cricket for some reason. And he can produce something really special. And you just feel that, he's just got that ability. So
Patlakwayo in again. De Kock repeats the shot and with the same result. Once again, back of a length, really fancied it and tried to hit the cover off it. If anything, he tried to hit that one even harder. There was a sense of frustration in that one. And Andile Patlakwayo, that's his best over of the tournament by some distance. It was conceded just 3 from it. If de Kock had had his way, he would have conceded 33 from it. But 3 overs gone, 24 without loss.
Yeah, he's bowled nicely in that over, only gone for 3. And I must say, it seems like there's some decent carry in the surface through to the keeper. Keeper for the Heat, Dane Villas, captain. Carl Abbott's going to get another over from the Calvin Grove end.
Here he is once again, charging in away from us and up to the crease now, bowls, and Milan uses his feet and slap drives it up towards mid-off. It's gone straight to the field. Is that David Miller at mid-off?
Yeah, it is indeed.
What's he doing there? Why isn't he in the covers? He's hiding. No, he's not. It's an important position, I suppose, if Abbott's going to be bowling full and straight.
Yeah, I think it's crucial areas, mid-on, mid-off. That's where a lot of the players look to try and hit, especially when you're bowling a little bit of a fuller line. What's interesting is there's a deep cover and or deep backward point and a deep backward square leg.
Abbott in once again, and this one, oh, Milan's in trouble if he hits, and yeah, he manages to get back. Oof, was that Keshav Maharaj at cover?
Ravi
No.
Bopara.
Ravi Bopara. And he had a decision to make, didn't he? It was either full throw and gamble on the direct hit, or lob it in and hope Dane Villas could get there. Yanaman Milan had come down out of his ground a long, long way. Bopara's got to make a snap decision in an instant, a fraction of a second. Decided to lob the ball towards the stumps and hope that Villas could get there, and he's now thinking, I should have just backed myself to hit. But there was perhaps nobody backing up, as another one from Milan is steered away behind square on the offside to backward point, and that too has gone straight to the fielder. So it's a very good over and a half here for the Durban Heat.
Yeah, one's always caught in between whether to shy for the stump or shy at the stumps. They had more than enough time, so the right thing from Ravi Bopara was to do is to try and bounce it in, perhaps even throw it on the full to Villas, who's running in, because he literally could just catch it and just go on to the stumps then. So perhaps that's an area where they might have just slapped on that one.
Abbott in again, and Milan once more. He's showing signs of frustration, tries to smash it through the offside. Doesn't time it, bottom edge, trickles out to Ravi Bopara once again, and there's no run. What a career Ravi Bopara has had. He's played 38 T20 internationals for England and 335 T20s in all. He's been around a long time. In fact, I keep thinking he must be 38, 39. He's only 34, but he's played 16 years as a professional. As Malan tries to cut it away behind square on the offside bottom edge, drags it somehow just to the left of keeper Dane Villis and scuttles through for a single. Imagine that. Ravi Bopara's played. That's just amazing. But he's
started at the age of 18.
Yeah, that's right. 17, 18. He was playing professional cricket. There's many a player that reached their peak at the age of 34. If he's reaching his peak, he's taken a long time to get there.
Yeah, and he's still got a few years to go as Ravi Bopara. Come off for a reasonably good county season as well. Essex being the champions.
And then he left them at the end of the year. And he spent all of those years at Essex. He's now signed for a new challenge, new county for Sussex, as this one is dug out by Quinton de Kock. And another very, very good over comes to an end from Kyle Abbott. That was outstanding. Just a single from it, remarkably. 4 overs gone, 25 without loss. The Cape Town Blitz back in a moment.
The Mzansi Super League is back, and this time, we are going even bigger. We have exciting MSL matches, and still have your much-loved shows on offer. On Friday, Afternoon Express moves to 4 p.m. Our primetime news will only be a 15-minute bulletin, and Isidingo moves to the 9:30 slot. And this Sunday, Anur moves to 6 a.m. sharp, with Sadana following right after for the 6:30 slot.
SABC is the official broadcaster of Mzansi Super League.
You're a lawyer. He wants to be a lawyer. You love rugby. He loves rugby. You prefer home-cooked meals. He prefers home-cooked meals. Your kids learn a lot from imitating you. So, if you drink and drive, what do you think he'll do when he grows up? Don't drink and drive, for your sake and theirs. Save our kids, our future generation. An Arrive Alive message brought to you by Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
Another over begins from Andile Petlakwayo. Yanaman Malan cuts it out to the man sweeping on the cover boundary. So, 2 outstanding overs for the Durban Heat. Absolutely, truly, amongst the best overs of the tournament. There's only been 3 maidens, as we were telling you last night when we were describing the game between the Paarl Rocks and the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants, but there were just 4 runs from the last 2 overs. As de Kock now drives it out towards cover and it's caught! To mid-wicket, I should say. Marco Jansen?
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant catch from Marco Jansen. Probably feel if you had someone a little bit shorter, he might not have got there. Absolutely full stretch dive to his right.
All of his 6'6".
Yeah, he did indeed. And Quinton de Kock, you could see, was itching. He was needing a boundary. It was a long stretch dive from Marco Jansen to his right-hand side, just above the ground. And a big wicket, a really big wicket for the Durban Heat.
When I said cover, I said that because that's where he was aiming. He was trying to hit it through cover, I think, and somehow, I don't know why, but he's just he just threw the shot too early and somehow dragged it off the inside edge to mid-wicket.
Yeah, what he's been doing so much in this MSL is that he's been going so far outside the line of leg stump, exposing his stumps, trying to hit through the offside the majority of the time, and what some of the bowlers have done is try to follow him, and then he ends up flicking it to the leg side where he picks up a lot of boundaries as well. On this occasion it was on the fuller side, so perhaps he was just trying to look to hit it that over the mid-off region, and then caught the thick inside edge and just squirted it towards that mid-wicket area where Marco Jansen's taken a brilliant catch. 26 for 1 now on the Cape Town Blitz. De Kock out for 10 or 15 deliveries.
David Bedingham is the new batsman, 25 years old. And I know that Jacques Callis would want me to make sure that I reminded everybody that he's another product of Weinberg Boys High. He's only played 20 T20 games, so a fairly late start to his professional career, but last summer he was in prolific form for Western Province and the few occasions he got for the Cobras. And now he's given a run at number 3 in place of Marcus Ackerman. Perhaps it's fair to say that he didn't really grasp his chance at number 3. he made some runs and certainly showed that he's a quality player, but didn't make the really big runs or the eye-catching contribution that might have ensured that he kept his place in the lineup. Slip in place now for Andile Petlakwayo to Beddingham, and he's turned this one out towards mid-on, sets off for a quick single. There's some excitement amongst the fielders, screams of keeper, and there was a shy at the keeper at the stumps at the keeper's end. Dane Villis manages to get a glove to it, but no direct hit from David Miller. Yanaman Malan 12 off 11 balls. David Beddingham off the mark. Cape Town Blitz 27 for 1. Quinton de Kock back in the pavilion for just 10. And now the right-handed Yanaman Malan on strike. I fancy that he's going to be looking at that mid-off position, go over long off. But no, it's back of a length. Can't drive that one. It's punched once more out towards the sweeper on the cover boundary. Through for another single. Cape Town Blitz now, and they're in that situation where, okay, the power play hasn't gone according to plan. It hasn't worked out for them, but they could make it much worse with a desperate flurry of swings and lose another couple of wickets. They've just got to accept that sometimes bowlers are allowed to do well in the power play.
Yeah, I think when you lose the likes of Quinton de Kock in the power play already, Yanaman Malan might just bide his time a little bit.
Here is Petlakwayo, and Beddingham pushes that defensively straight back to the bowler. But I tell you what, there were 19 from the first 2 overs, and from the next 3, there have been only 9. Outstanding bowling from Andile Petlakwayo, 1 for 6 in 2 overs. Kyle Abbott, 2 overs for just 10. That's a brilliant first 5 overs from the Durban Heat. And to take you through the next 5 overs, you'll be in the capable hands and voices of Hussein Manak and Six Sochilelwa.
Thank you very much, Hussein Manak and Quinton Friend. 28 for 1. Now the Hussein Manak, Neil Manthorpe. Yeah, Neil Manthorpe, Quinton Friend. Yeah, you're right. 28 for 1. The Cape Town Blitz, after those 2 overs where you would have felt they would be approaching 50, 55, 60 rather in this power play. But as Neil Manthorpe has mentioned, Andile Petlakwayo, together with Kyle Abbott, have pulled it back as Marco Jansen continues over the wicket. That left-handed lanky, quick left arm is impressive again today with his pace and his control. Yes, he's bowled a couple of wides, but he seems to have some sort of control.
I was very impressed with the catch he took.
Yeah, it's
really athletic catch, diving full length to his right-hand side for a tall man, for a tall young man. Did really well to get to that catch. And held on to it as well.
Trots in again. Shuffles down the wicket as Yanaman Malan has a whole lot of that one. It's up in the air. It's gone for 6. It needed to happen for the Cape Town Blitz. And it's a maximum from Yanaman Malan.
Now, there's been a few quiet overs. And as you say, they've been itching. They've been looking. And Malan played one early on of Jansen when Jansen bowled his first over. Very similar type of stroke, came down the pitch, used his feet and then hit him back over his head. And he's repeated this, but a clean hit, beautifully timed and exquisite. Really makes it look easy. Yanaman Malan, he moves to 19.
Jansen again, full toss this time, there's an appeal. No, outside leg stump. Absolutely bamboozled Yanaman Malan. It was a full toss from Jansen and a plea to the umpire, but seems to have struck him just outside the line of leg stump. 35 for 1.
Wow, what happened there? It was a full toss. Struck him on the pad. It probably was one of those slower ball full tosses. Malan completely lost the ball, didn't see it, lost sight of it. Reminds me of Franklin Stevenson used to bowl those slower deliveries. Almost you felt the ball was coming at your head and you almost you ducked and then suddenly it's a slower ball that dips and either clean bowls you or hits you on the pad, and that hit him on the pad. So that may well have been a slower delivery, and I missed the pace of that delivery though.
Jansen, Malan, rather David Beddingham, charges at him, top edge, and over fine leg for 6. And looking for those boundaries, the Cape Town Blitz. Yeah, there was that 2 over period where everything was quiet. Good bowling from Andile Petlakwayo and Kyle Abbott. But realizing an opportunity here, Malan and Beddingham with just 2 balls remaining in the power play.
Yeah, they're going after the youngster, aren't they? They've realized that he's inexperienced and they're running at him. So they're going to put him under pressure. Very often, teams will discuss these type of tactics in the change room before they come out. They attack a particular player and target him. And it looks like, for me, Janssen, they're actually targeting him.
Leg side again, clipped away nicely, beautifully by Bedingham. 4 more.
Yeah, leg side, half volley, and that's an easily put away bread and butter stroke. Bedingham's a sweet time of the ball, and he makes no mistake here. Just clips this off his pad very neatly. So Janssen guilty of just drifting down the legs, bowling a few loose deliveries, the length, the first few deliveries. But, you know, those sixes, I don't really blame him for those because they were length deliveries. They ran at him. And the first one, Malan, hit a good stroke. Second one, top edge for 6.
Janssen, leg side again, slower this time, opens the plate as Bedingham looking for a quick single, in which they do find a very productive over for the Cape Town Blitz. It's the end of the power play. It's 46-4 after 6 overs.
That's a good over for the Cape Town Blitz. It's something they needed just to get back into the game.
Yeah, they needed an over or 2, and you felt that
they would have targeted one of the bowlers in the power play to try get one of those overs where you get 16, 20 odd runs. And last over of the power play, Janssen, 2 maximums and a boundary to end it off.
Yeah, the Cox, you know, tried to hit a few over the top on the leg side, mid-wicket, etc., and missed a number of deliveries. But the power play is your opportunity to really clear the infield, and they did that brilliantly in this final power play over, which is the 6th over. 2 maximums in there and a 4.
So now the power play doesn't look that bad. Huh?
Doesn't look that bad. Tell us, Jules.
46 for 1. 18 runs coming off that last over.
Boundaries in that power play?
Boundaries in the power play, altogether 4 6s and a 4.
There could have been more, as Quinton de Kock was looking to line of a square over the square boundaries, but couldn't quite time them. Going past the outside edge a couple of times was Andile Petrukwayo as Keshav Maharaj is into the attack. Outside the off stump, pushed away by Bedingham. He'll pick up a single, 47 for 1.
Yeah, it just seemed de Kock for once today was trying to hit the ball a little too hard. It's such a sweet time of the ball. He's got a natural, fluent swing of the bat, almost like a golf swing, a baseball swing. Played a lot of baseball as a youngster, Quinton de Kock. So he's got a natural swing. And just today I felt he was trying to overhit the ball at times.
Maharaj again full at this time on that off stump, played away onto the cover region by Malani. He'll pick up a single, 48 for 1 now in the 7th over.
And as a result, he missed a few, which is surprising because, you know, generally he's an instinctive player, doesn't preempt, but just felt that today he was perhaps preempting.
Maharaj shorter this time, a bit of a quicker delivery, sliding on to Bedingham. I was looking to play it on the leg side. Dot ball, 48 for 1.
They've recovered, as you say, that final power play over.
Yeah, do you feel like Andile Petrukwayo would know a whole lot more about Quinton de Kock than the others as he continues? Keshav Maharaj onto the leg side, clipped away by Bedingham, picks up a single, 49 for 1. And he was looking to pitch it on leg, middle, and push it away across to Quinton de Kock, trying to find that gap between bat and pad, and which is what seems to be a problem for Quinton de Kock when he's looking to go on that square boundary.
And also, they are bowling a lot of slower deliveries. They're mixing their pace up quite nicely.
Maharaj gives himself room, does Malan. Clips it onto that leg side. He'll pick up a single. And it's 50 on the board for the home side. Cape Town Blitz into the 7th over.
Yeah, just over 7 runs to the over. It's a beautiful evening in Cape Town, the mother city. And, well, I wonder what Julia can tell us about the pass score at Newlands.
164, I think it was.
Is this day-night games? Day-night T20 encounters?
T20 encounters.
Julia will get back to us with that.
Maharaj Fuller clipped away onto the next side by David Bedingham, who moves to 15 of 10 deliveries. 21 of 17 is Yanaman Malan. 51 for 1 of the Cape Town Blitz after 7. After the captain, Quinton de Kock, lost the toss and elected to bat first. It was Dane Villas who lost the toss. Quinton de Kock elected to bat first with his side. In fact, Dane Villas also said he would have batted first, obviously realizing that not much of a change in T20 cricket, 40 overs,
And get some runs on the board, you know.
Yeah.
And probably statistically also they would have looked at the stats and worked out that maybe, you know, there isn't much of a difference, or there may be a slight advantage batting first. Let's get the runs on the board and then we can put them under pressure. But very often they'll have a look at the pitch and go like, you know, if you can score some runs now. It looks to me like it's very dry. It looks like it's brownish in color. So perhaps maybe they feel later on may not be as easy. Let's just get the runs on the board now, and then we can put them under pressure. Already bowlers rolling their fingers over the ball, so already that tells you a lot about the dryness, that perhaps those cutters are gripping in the surface. Ravi Bopara, 333 matches, T20 internationals, or T20 matches, pardon me.
With his gentle pace, he trots into Bedingham. Dot ball, 51 for 7. Yeah, we'll come back to Ravi Bopara as he's introduced into the attack, but we've got to look at the batting depth of the Cape Town Blitz. 2 changes made to their side today. Avu and Gijima being given an opportunity to be an all-rounder together with Vernon Philando, who's been sensational for the Cape Town Blitz as Bopara comes in again. Worked away from that off-stump area by Bedingham and picks up the single on the leg side. 52 for 1. Do you feel like they are batters short to the Cape Town Blitz, or are they covered with those 2 all-rounders?
No, I think they've gone with an extra batter today. So let's just have a look at who's out of the side.
It was
Bopara wide outside that off stump and worked away by Yana Malan towards that deep point region. Or pick up a single, 53 for 1.
It was Ackerman.
Yeah,
Ackerman's out, and then Bedingham came in for Ackerman, and then Mahlukwana, he's out, and Gijima came in for him. So basically they've swapped one batter for a bowler, and so they've got an extra batter in the side. So we've gone batting heavy.
Bopara wide again outside that off stump, looking to go past the man at backward point, who does well. Janssen showing his athleticism and his awareness around the inner circle. He's taken a brilliant catch mid-wicket, and he's stopped one here, which was looking to be a good 2 or 3 runs for the Cape Town Blitz.
Yeah, Bopara bowls a beautiful back of the hand roller. It comes out of the back of the hand, and those are not easy to pick up as a batter, because you line up, you're expecting the ball to come at a certain pace to you, and it really comes out the back of the hand. It's beautifully bowled delivery. Not easy, I must say, to execute.
Straight to the star, Ravi Bopara worked away onto the leg side by Malano, pick up a single. Run rate now just over 7 for the home side, Cape Town Blitz.
He's military medium, isn't he? But
yeah,
every now and then he'll bowl a quicker delivery, but he has the ability to really mix his plate up beautifully as Bopara, so not easy to line him up. That's why he's been so effective for Essex over the years, internationally for England as well.
Over 330 T20 matches for Ravi Bopara as he comes in again to wrap up his overs. Clipped away by Bedingham, who will pick up a single. It was a productive one for the Cape Town Blitz, picking up 5 singles. 56 for 1 after 8. We're going to take a short break.
This week, Kavish Manik paves the way to the perfect event. Yupati Shah creates exquisite jewelry for brides-to-be. Shazad Ali shares his wedding photography secrets. We showcase the highlights of the Eastern Bridal Fair, and our movie focus falls on celebrity weddings. Share in the Indian experience at Mela on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
You know it is a great summer when there's Mzansi Super League action. This weekend is no exception, as Durban Heat battles it out with Nelson Mandela Bay Giants at Kingsmead Stadium. Catch this exhilarating action live on SABC3 and Radio 2000 this Saturday, 30 November at 12 midday.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
Bedingham plays it down to mid-wicket. Or pick up a single. 57 now for 1 are the Cape Town Blitz. Yanaman Malan 23 off 19, together with Bedingham, who joined him after the departure of Quinny de Kock, who fell for 10 runs off 15 deliveries. Was looking to find that square leg boundary a couple of times, was Quinny de Kock. But it was Anile Peshukwayo and Carl Abbott who put him under a bit of pressure in causing that wicket. As Malan shuffles down the wicket, it'll pick up a quick single on the leg side. Move on to 58 for 1.
Maharaj bowling with good control here, mixing his pace up. He's bowling slow enough just for the ball to hold in the surface, stop a little, doesn't come on. Very often with spinners in South African conditions, the quicker you bowl, easier it becomes, almost like medium pace. So you want to slow it down a little. Don't bowl too quick, too often, and don't be too predictable.
There's an appeal. He's down on one knee, but it had looked initially that it was going straight with the arm down the leg side.
Now this is a lovely delivery. This one was a little quicker. So this was the arm ball. It didn't turn. It just went with the arm. And it really flummoxed Bedingham because initially Maharaj bowling slow, and this one a little quicker.
Coming around. Here's the left-handed Maharaj to the right-handed Bedingham, who works him off onto the leg side. He'll pick up a single.
Good variation from Keshav Maharaj. That ball, I think, perhaps just sliding a little down the legs, because you could see middle, you could see off. So, yeah, a good decision, because I think was sliding, but he hit him certainly low enough. He was on the back foot.
Come off, here we go.
Just sliding down leg from around the wicket.
Maharaj gives himself room as Malan was looking to go big. Instead, just tickles it down to fine leg. I'll pick up 4. And 63 for 1. It ruins what was a good over from Maharaj. Talking about variations and using the crease and using that round arm Maharaj. But just that last delivery.
He'll be disappointed, you're right. It's at last, you just want to close the over quietly, even a single, you know. Hit it to the boundary and get a single, or to the man on the boundary, and he'll be disappointed, and so will his skip be. But the Cape Town Blitz managed to close that over off with the boundary, and they moved to 63 for 1. So, Jules, the past score here at Newlands, batting first in day-night.
In day-nights, 165. In day games, 163. So overall, 164.
Overall,
there's
164.
nothing in it, really.
Popara, shorter this time, whacked away by David Bedingham. There's protection out in the deep. 2 men out there. And they'll settle just for the 1. Well, so then, Jules, they'll need to score 100 in the next 10 overs to get around that average of 164.
Yeah.
They've got wickets in hand. They've got Livingston, who showed some fireworks the other night.
And we spoke about their lengthening their batting, so certainly they've got even the 2 Pakistanis, and those guys can really give it a good whack, you know. Falenda can, Livingston can.
Popara wide, has a swipe. Does Malan airborne for a while, but there's a man out at the backward point boundary who picks up with one hand and has a good throw in, but they'll pick up the 2. These 2, Malan and Bedingham, running nicely between the stumps. If you're not able to pick up the boundaries, pick up the singles and keep that run rate around 7.7 now, the Cape Town Blitz. 66 for 1 in the 10th over. Popara wide, outside the off stump, fetched by Janneman Malan, and he'll put him on the leg side for 6. 72 for 1, the Cape Town Blitz. It's another big one from Malan.
It is. Slower delivery again from Bopara. And that's the thing with Ravi Bopara. When you bowl too many slower balls, you become predictable. So Malan was expecting it on this occasion. Got down on his knees, slog sweep over mid-wicket, out the middle of the bat, crunch, and into the signboards, just a meter over the boundary.
We'll come back to those numbers, Julia, as he comes in again. Ravi Bopara a bit quicker this time to Janneman Malan, who drives him down the ground to long on. I'll pick up a single. 73 for 1. That partnership.
47 at the moment.
Yeah.
47 from 32 balls. So your prediction that they need 100 in the last 10 is not completely out of the question.
They're probably going for it now because they've got wickets in hand and they've got enough batting depth to launch an attack from here on in.
Popara again outside that off stump, forcing the batter to come and get him and work him on the leg side, which he does, and they'll pick up 2 in the end. Good running between these 2. 75 for 1 now, the Cape Town Blitz, with just 1 ball remaining in this over.
And you know, the other thing about T20 cricket, and I think sometimes there's a tendency to forget, is that you don't have to hit boundaries to score quickly. You can get a run, 2 runs a ball, you can get 10 and over.
Popara shorter this time, looking to whack it, was Bedingham, a couple of bounces, and over the ropes, 4 more.
That one was certainly short enough. That one just stopped in the surface, slow enough for him to rock back and deep in his crease, pull this through the square leg area for a boundary. So Bopara, second over. Well, 2 overs now, not for 21. And he's certainly now rollicking along the Cape Town Blitz. 79 for 1 after 10.
That's the partnership, 50 partnership. It came up of 34 deliveries, 21 minutes, 3 4s, 3 6s, 25 contributed by Janneman Malan, and 27 by David Bedingham.
The thing about T20 cricket, we're going to go for a small break?
No, we're going to, in fact, go for news. 7941 here, the Cape Town Blitz.
SABC News. Independent and impartial.
Good afternoon. A look at the headlining stories. MMC for Utility Services, Abel Tau, has been confirmed as the acting mayor of the city of Tshwane. Council Speaker Katlego Rachel Matebe says she has received a letter from the beleaguered mayor Stevens Mokgalapa appointing Tau while he has taken a leave of absence. Mokgalapa has faced strong criticism after audio emerged of an alleged sexual interaction with Transport MEC Sheila Sekumbuge. Meanwhile, Power Utility Eskom is expecting another 20 billion rand loss for the full year, but has posted a modest profit of 1.3 billion rand in its interim results. Eskom Board Chair Jabu Mabuza has warned of the huge municipal debt that Eskom is absorbing. And a high court in Zambia has sentenced 2 men to 15 years in jail after they were caught having sex in 2017. Zambia is a conservative country and same-sex relationships are frowned upon and homosexual acts are illegal. For more on these and other stories, go to sabcnews.com, download the SABC News app, or follow our updates on Twitter at Radio 2000ZA. I'm Nandika Bukas, and I'll be back with the next update just after 7.
Can I pay my SABC TV license at ShopRite Money Market? Yep. And stand a chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand in ShopRite vouchers? Yebo. Simply pay your TV license at any participating ShopRite Money Market and stand a chance to win. And soon, you'll be able to register for your TV license in store. Only at ShopRite Money Market, in partnership with SABC TV licenses. Competition ends 24 December. T's and C's apply.
Watch EFC this Saturday on SABC3. See the epic finale title fight with the Italian beastie Barbie, Chiara Penko, as she went to war with Poland's warrior queen, Karolina Wojcik. Plus, P.D. Coxon faces the formidable Justin Smith. EFC, every Saturday at 8 p.m. on SABC3. Brought to you by SABC Sport.
Welcome back to Newlands. It's a glorious sun-bathed afternoon, and the Cape Town Blitz are 82 for 1 as we start the 11th over. Malusi Saboto from the Weinberg end flicked away for 4 down the leg side. Not sure how leg side that delivery was from Malusi Saboto. It was too straight, no doubt about that, but Yano and Milan has just got the faintest of inside edges. It's David Bedingham, I beg your pardon, David Bedingham, who's flicked it away. Fine leg up in the circle. Malusi Saboto, actually, the look of disappointment on his face would suggest that he knows that was too straight, and it's 4 runs. And David Bedingham is into the 30s now, 31 after a fairly cautious start. Saboto in, and Bedingham punches it out towards mid-wicket, fielded by Petlakwayo, and there's another single. 87 for 1, Quinton Friend.
Yeah, they've actually been going along nicely, these two. Built a really good partnership at the moment. Bedingham getting his first opportunity in the tournament. And you want to be taking your chance, that's for sure. Especially when it's getting to the business end of times in this Mzansi 2.0.
Malusi Saboto in once again, and the last ball of the over is a clever slower one, which Bedingham can do nothing more, which Milan can do nothing more than play defensively to. Pushes it straight back to the bowler. 11 overs gone. Looks a good pitch, I must say. We thought it looked good before the innings started, and so it is proving to be. And Andile Petlakwayo, right on cue, because I said that he bowled disappointingly in the tournament, has bowled 2 overs and taken 1 for 6, whereas poor old Marco Janssen, I didn't think bowled poorly at all. Bowls 2 overs for 29. On course, Cape Town Blitz here?
Yeah, I think, after losing the cock early, I thought they've recovered really well. They haven't looked to play any extravagant shots. They've been very good in the way that they've rotated. They've got a couple deliveries that have been on the legs that they've dealt with. They've put it away, so they've got their boundaries that way. And then the odd loose deliveries from the heat that the Blitz have put away nicely. Keshav Maharaj, that changes ends. He's now from the Calvin Grove end.
Here he is, and driven down the ground by Bedingham. towards Alex Hales on the long off boundary, and then go through for a straightforward single. Keshav Maharaj, 2 overs for 12 before this one. Lots of bowling options then for the Durban Heat. They've got 6 frontliners and some off spinners maybe from Vihan Luba as a 7th option. I don't think they'll be needed today though. Keshav Maharaj has 3 men between short third man and cover point, and that one is slapped out towards the cover boundary and beautifully fielded by Petlakwayo.
Yeah, Andile Petlakwayo. That's a brilliant stop. I mean, it's almost hit the cover of that Yanaman Malan. And fantastic diving stop on that deep extra cover boundary by Andile Petlakwayo to keep it down to 2.
Here is Maharaj, much quicker delivery, fired that one in and turned away by Yanaman Malan out towards deep square leg. Just a word about the crowd, by the way, much better. At the start of the game, I was a little disappointed to think there were only maybe 1,500 people in here, but the sun sets behind the mountain, of course, and that means that the sheltered railway stand underneath the plane trees has been a popular spot, and that's filling up, people looking for a bit of shade on an unusually warm day. It's 34 degrees, or it was at the height of the afternoon. Here is Maharaj once again, room outside the off stump, steered to backward point where Janssen fields, and there's no run. The Oaks, of course, are well populated, but it's becoming more of a popular spot now. It was just a bit hot an hour ago. But here is Maharaj once again. But I reckon there's got to be between 3,000 or 4,000 in, not the 5.5 that were here on Sunday. Maharaj in once again, played defensively by Bedingham. No doubt the Durban Heat are getting through their overs very quickly and quite deliberately at the moment. Another quicker round-armed one from Maharaj has worked out towards mid-wicket. David Miller charges in to do the fielding, and there's no run. It's hardly time for me to describe it, let alone get you involved.
Yeah, Keshav Maharaj actually bowled a very, very good over once again, only going for 5. He's 3 overs for 17 at the moment. So it's really, he's kept things tidy, he's kept things tight. And Lucy Supporters just bowled that 1 over for 8. It seems like he will continue from the Weinberg end.
With 8 overs to go, is it? I mean, these two have laid a really good platform now, but there are men waiting to come in who are capable of scoring much quicker than both of them.
Yeah, well, I think one of these two, if not both, need to maybe start, pushing on, taking the risk, and then whoever's the guy who stays over, he's the guy that's got to look to bat through the innings. I mean, we've seen what Liam Livingston has done since coming into the tournament. I mean, he's been attacking from the front. And you feel that he's probably the best possible, best suited at this stage of the innings for the Blitz. So I feel at this stage they probably both these two, Yanaman Malan and David Bedingham, need to push on, and then whoever stays over is the guy who's got to bat through.
Livingston 163 runs, a strike rate of 140, with a highest score of 65. So he has been very effective, and nothing worse if the Cape Town Blitz end up with a total that's not enough if they haven't used up all of their or at least the majority of their big hitting options. So definitely time for Bedingham and Yanaman Malan to really kick on now. Look for some look for 2 boundaries and over. Petlakwayo has been outstanding, and that's a thick top edge, a flying cut shot from Bedingham. The top edge down to Marco Janssen, who's now fielding on the 3rd man boundary. Total moves up to 93 for 1. Start of the 13th over. I think 170 would be. I'm thinking 170 might be a wee bit below par. This looks like a real belter of a pitch.
It does look a belter of a pitch, and I think you've got to take your hats off to the Durban Heat here. I thought they've actually executed their skills pretty well. Especially Andile Petlakwayo been really good this evening, and Keshav Maharaj been good once again. He's 3 overs for 17.
Here is Petlakwayo once more as Yanaman Malan slaps him off the back foot out towards the cover boundary. As me yesterday talking about how important it was to be patient, and there's me 24 hours later talking about the need to push on, get on with it.
Yeah, but you had a stage, with only seven overs remaining after this 13th over, that you need to push on somehow, because you've only lost 1 wicket, so there's a lot of batting to come. So you want to be trying to maximize your opportunity in posting something significant.
Asif Ali at number 5 as well is capable of some really, really big hittings. A prolific 6-hitter has slapped away towards backward point now. It's gone straight to Ravi Bapara, and they've sprinted through for a quick single, 96 for 1.
And this is where a lot of extra pressure gets built on the batters, because they're hitting fielders at the moment in that inner circle. Even though they're scampering through for a single, they're not getting balls beyond those fielders in the backward point region, extra cover region, where you're just getting left or right of those, and then you're able to pick up a boundary, if not 2. At the moment, it's going straight to the fielders. They're only picking up a single. Got 3 singles off the first 3 deliveries.
Petlakwayo in once more, and that one is punched down the ground towards long on and over his head for 6. I say punched, baseball style. It was back of an length from Petlakwayo, outside the off stump, all the room that Malan needed to flat bat it, as I said, baseball style. I didn't think he got enough of it. It went so flat, but it just went and went and went.
Yeah, I mean, he's got right back in his crease as well, Yaneman Malan. Short delivery, wide outside the line of off stump. It's almost just inside the wide line that he's gone and picked that up from and hit it over Long On's head.
50 up for Yaneman Malan from 32 balls. And he's gone again. This time that's gone all the way over deep mid-wicket for 6 more. Right on cue. Sorry, Julia. Well, am I right there? 32 balls? How many boundaries in that 50?
1 4 and 4 6s, excluding this one. It's now 5 6s.
1 4 and 5 6s.
32 balls, 52 minutes.
And well, that I tell you what, 2 consecutive 6s changes the complexion of most innings, and suddenly the Cape Town Blitz look like they are back on track for 180 with 9 wickets in hand. Petlakwayo in once more. That's very well bowled. Good comeback. 3 singles, 2 6s, and then another single as Malan can only push it out to Bapara at extra cover. Suddenly, Andila Petlakwayo's figures are looking a little more normal. 2 overs, 1 for 6. 3 overs, 1 for 22. 7 overs to go, 108 for 1.
Yeah, and that's how quickly things change in this T20 format. You know, just when you think you've started so nicely, and you've only gone for 3, a couple 6s, and all of a sudden, you know, things change drastically. So a little bit of change of momentum in terms of the innings here after one very, very good over. Yaneman Malan now 57 of 34. He's just kicking on nicely. Also getting some visuals of that 6 that was hit towards the long on boundary. Gary Kirsten sitting in the dugout to actually put a catch down. Not often we saw that.
Keshav Maharaj, left arm spin, is in once more, and there's a peculiar looking reverse sweep for 4. What a shot actually from David Beddingham. Maharaj saw him from Yaneman Malan. Beddingham saw him coming, tried to fire it down the leg side, and Malan had to really reach for it the wrong way round, and just managed to get a bottom edge on it.
Well, you know how he's reached for it. He's actually dived into it.
Yes,
with
exactly.
The bat.
Reaching was being polite. He's actually dived after the ball and managed to get a bottom edge on it. An amazing shot. He's now pushed it out towards deep mid-wicket for another single.
Would you say? I think we've seen everything now. All types of shots in T20 cricket.
I need to try and describe it again, because he's got himself early into the reverse sweep position. Maharaj has then fired it wide of him, and he's literally had to dive after the ball to get some bat on it. Maharaj in once again, and this one is squeezed out towards short third man. That's actually cleverly done by Beddingham, because Maharaj again saw him giving himself width, fired it wide in Yorker length, and he's just squeezed it down to short third man. A couple of metres either side of short third man, he might well have picked up 4, but it's just a single. Now the Cape Town Blitz have really got the afterburners on, or they're trying anyway. Beddingham has 37 off 30. He needs to up that strike rate. Low full toss, punch straight back to the bowler, Maharaj fields. Yaneman Malan, of course, made an unbeaten 99 in the first game, the opening game of MSL 2.0, as Maharaj in again, wide outside the off stump, left alone by Malan, who thought it would be called a wide, and it wasn't.
Brilliant piece of bowling though, Keshav Maharaj, going for 4 off the first delivery, and how he's just brought things back, gone on for 2 singles and 2 dot balls in the next 4 deliveries.
Here is Maharaj once again. He's bowling at some pace. Oh, that was a scoring opportunity. That was in the slot, leg stump, down on one knee. Milan was looking to hit that for 6, but he didn't get anything more than a little tickle on it onto the pad, and they have only gone through for a single. Outstanding over from Keshav Maharaj. Yet again, it's the spinners. 4 overs for 24.
I think he's a very underrated, white ball cricketer, Keshav Maharaj. I know he's been very, there's limited opportunities, obviously, with Imran Tahir up in the national side, and in those formats over a number of years. Tabriz Shamsi that's been involved. I just think, Keshav Maharaj, who's obviously the first choice test spinner for the Proteas, you feel that he should be getting an opportunity in the 50 over format especially as well. I think he can prove to be could play a big part in the white ball formats.
He's just a clever bowler, isn't he? Whatever the format, thinking bowler.
And that's what you need, though. You need that in the shorter formats. Someone who's thinking on their feet the whole time.
Malusi Sabato is back into the attack for the 15th over from the Weinberg end. Oh, and he's gone big down towards long on, and that's gone a long way, wide long on. Yanaman Malan picks up another 6, half a dozen maximums.
Yeah, very, very good, Yanaman Malan. It's in the slot, though, from Malusi Sabato, and often when it's in the slot of the first delivery of an over, that's the delivery that the batters will be looking to target, because then you've got a chance of maximizing that over. And when the first one goes for a maximum, you almost feel that you can just able to rotate now, perhaps pick up the odd 2 here and there, and then you're getting 12, 13 off the over without taking further risks.
I do love the way Yanaman Malan maintains the pose. He hits a classic on drive and then just holds the pose and watches the ball disappear. With Sabato in again. Short, pulled away, 6 more. Poor delivery from Malusi Sabato. That was a medium pace long hop. It got what it deserved. 7 sixes for Yanaman Malan.
It's a low flying missile that past the backward, deep backward square leg area. Everybody in the crowd there having to duck, because they've come very, very quickly to the boundary. Back-to-back 6s, and now Malusi Sabato under enormous pressure.
12 off the first 2 balls.
Yeah, not often you see a batter with only 2 4s and 7 6s. Moved on to 75 as well.
Maybe partnership's 100.
Oh, thank you very much, Jules. So 127 for 1, 75 to Yanaman Malan. Sabato in again, and he's gone once more deep, but he hasn't got a hold of it, and it's caught in the deep by David Miller. Another short delivery from Malusi Sabato. I guess you've got to tip your hat to him and say he had a plan and he was going to stick to it. But I mean, it just looked like another delivery that could easily have been hit for 6, and that's exactly what Yanaman Malan thought he could do. I don't know, did he take some pace off it? Did he deceive the batsman somehow, or did he just get a bit lucky?
You could clearly see that these two had decided that we're going to start going, because it was indefinite that Yanaman Malan was going to try and take it on. If he gets out, so be it. There's still a lot of batting in the dugout, but what a magnificent knock that is. Just hit a bit of the toe end of the bat and gone to that long on fielder David Miller. Julia, would you give us some numbers there for Yanaman Malan,
sure.
Please?
75, came off 42 balls with 2 4s and 7 6s. 59 minutes he was at the crease, and that partnership was 101 runs from 39 deliveries. There were 5 4s and 7 6s. Malan made 63 of them and Bedingham 37.
Thank you very much, Julia. Wow, that's a really good partnership, Neil Manthorpe. You feel that's really got the Cape Town Blitz in a position where, or good launching pad from here, you feel, with Liam Livingston making his way to the crease. Shabata.
Yeah, and some hitting to come after him as well, with Asif Ali, Mohammad Nawaz, Viwe Ngajima, Vernon Philander. There's Wahab Riaz as well. I mean, I don't think the Cape Town Blitz don't want to make the mistake of overreaching and overextending themselves and swinging wildly. Short now, pulled away by Beddingham for a single down towards deep square leg. And the total moves up to 134 for 2. 5 overs to go. I mean, when we talk about 10, 12 and over, it doesn't often work like that. It's difficult to score at precisely that rate. And what you do need is it's that one big over, really big over, that changes things. And this has been a pretty big one, 19 from it so far. Yeah, and suddenly another 6, 25 off the over. Well, that's an innings changer. Saboto in once again. Bouncer gets away with... No, he doesn't. Well, Sipilele Gaza had a good, long, hard think about that, but it did look like it was a bit of a wide, and eventually calls it.
Yeah, Aludin Palaka is the square leg umpire, just with his arms stretched out, saying to Sipilele Gaza, "That's a wide." So Malusi Saboto didn't enjoy that one.
That's 20 off the over.
He's actually turned around and just, "Are you serious?" But yeah, another delivery here. There's Liam Livingston will want to try and make it count.
Here is Saboto once again. Bowl Livingston drives it just wide of the bowler, who has a semi-collision with the batsman David Beddingham as he tried to field it. Nothing the batsman could do about that. So the over comes to an end, 21 off it. That's, as I said, an innings changer. 15 overs gone, 136 for 2. Cape Town Blitz back in pole position.
Yeah, I feel they've done superbly well to get themselves into this position, and it's a perfect launching pad now for Beddingham and Liam Livingston to really kick on and try and get them to that 180, 190 mark.
And to take you through to the end of the innings, once more you'll be with Julia, Hussein Manak and Six Sochilalwa.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. 136 for 2 now, the Cape Town Blitz, where we had said that they'll perhaps look for 100 runs in the last 10 overs. Well, they've got 57 in the past 5. And with plenty of batting power to come in Asif Ali, Avuam Gijima, Vernon Philander, Mohammed Nawaz. Well, they've got to find as much as possible in these last 5 overs. Alongside me, Hussein Manak and Julius Scully.
Don't forget Wabriaz and Magala.
Yeah,
well.
Magala.
Right down till 10. So they can certainly afford to have a go. But, I mean, you also can't afford to play reckless cricket. You know, you may have wickets in hand, but you play reckless cricket. Every time you lose a wicket, it's a dot ball, and new batter comes in. He needs a few balls to get in. So you also don't want to play reckless or silly cricket. You still need to get a little bit of a partnership going, even if it's 5 overs to bat. Batters don't want to keep getting out, because the more they switch over and new batters come in, they need a little bit of time to get in. Livingston's on 1, lots of experience. Beddingham is on 44. He's batting beautifully. That was a good partnership. Neil Bentop spoke now about that one big over, and I think Julia, perhaps maybe just tell us how many big overs did they have in this innings? It was 118 run over?
The 2 big overs.
Yeah, Carve Abbott continues with the last 5 overs for the Cape Town Blitz to try and get as much as possible. Starts with a full toss, worked off his pads and pick up a single. Yeah, that was a brilliant partnership, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this was the 120 run over now.
So they had 12 of the first over, and then the next one that was in double figures was that 18, which was the 6th over. Then on the 10th over they made 14, and then this 15th over they made 20.
So they've had a few big overs, and I think that's what you want to do, because you know you can knock it around for 1s and 2s, here, there, run hard, etc. in between. But every now and then, when you see you comfortable with a particular bowler, go after him, and that's what they've done really well.
I bet. Outside that off stump, whacked away by Beddingham, but straight to the fielder. On the edge of the circle was Robbie Bopara, looking to go over him, but straight down his throat. 137 for 3.
Yeah, Beddingham backed away here, and he tried to go over extra cover. It was fired in by Kyle Abbott. He didn't quite come out of the middle of the bat. Hit it straight to Ravi Bopara at cover. He was on the edge of the circle as well, because kind of now coming to the back end of the innings. So Bopara cleverly hanging back. Good captaincy as well. So keeping the fielders on the edge of the circle. He knows that Dane Villas knows that they're now cutting loose. And you can afford to give them the runner ball. You don't mind that, but you certainly don't want them getting boundaries. So Beddingham goes 137 for 3. Julia?
44 runs he made from 33 balls. He was there for 3/4 of an hour, 3 4s and 2 6s. And that partnership was 10 from 6.
Yeah, Beddingham played his part today. Very rapid, 44 of 33. Very handy contribution to his partnership with Yanaman Malan of 101 of 39 deliveries, which really got the Cape Town Blitz going after they lost that early wicket of their captain, Quinton de Kock, who fell for 10 runs of 15 deliveries. New man in now, Asif Ali, together with Livingston, both international players in this Cape Town Blitz side, one from Pakistan, the other from England. They want to finish off here on a high. 143 matches for Asif Ali, an average of 26.36, but it's the strike rate of 149, which clearly stands out there also with his best of 100 in T20 cricket. So you want to contribute here as well. Make sure his side gets to that 165 that Julia spoke about. 30 or 28 deliveries remaining now. Abbott, short, picked off the hip by Asif Ali, who works him to fine leg or pick up a single. And with 5 overs remaining, you say 2 runs for each ball in T20 cricket.
I think generally in the last 4 or 5 overs, you can score at least comfortably at 10 and over with wickets in hand. So between 10 and 12, they should be looking at, and anything above that will be a bonus.
Yeah. They'll be looking for 170, 180. Current run rate takes them 178. 9 and over takes them 179, which is, I'm sure, what they'll be targeting the Cape Town Blitz as Kyle Abbott wide off the crease, realizing that Asif Ali, or rather Livingston, is planted on that leg stump. So how's about I just keep it wide off stump and get himself a dot
This
ball.
is well bowled.
Yeah.
And I think this is the experience of somebody like Abbott. And I thought to Malan particularly, because Malan was backing away. So with the bowlers, I think the mistake they made, the bowlers that got tapped from Malan, the inexperience was showing. They followed him, or they continued bowling straight. Come back to that in a minute.
Abbott looking to reverse sweep as Livingston. A dill scoop, that was what he's looking for over the wicket keeper, but dot ball again.
This is what Malan was doing. He was backing away and opening the offside. He's a very good offside player, very strong. He enjoys accessing the offside. So he'll back away and open the offside. And what you want to do to somebody like that, the moment you see him backing away, instead of continue bowling at the stumps or following him, rather go wide outside off and bowl it as full as Abbott did on that occasion. So put the ball out of his reach, hide it away from him.
A fantastic over by Kai Abbott, ends off with a beautiful Yorker. 3 off that over, but most importantly, they picked up a wicket. And they've really tried to restrict the Cape Town Blitz in the 16th over. It's 139 for 3 after 16. We're going to take a quick break.
It's Black Friday at Ford, just bigger. With 6 days of unbeatable offers on the new Ranger XLS. Buy any new Ranger XLS double, super or single cab and get a free premium 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan upgrade that covers up to 3,500 parts. T&Cs apply. Offer only valid until 30 November 2019. While stocks last. Test drive a new Ranger XLS at your Ford dealer today.
The South African State Theatre proudly presents the 12th annual Mzansi Festival. 1 December, Zonke Dikana. 8 December, Kefa Semenya. 13 December, Thandiswa Mazwai. 22 December, Ringo Madlingos. And Something Soweto. Tickets are available at Web Tickets. South African State Theatre. Theatre of Africa.
The battlefield of Newlands Cricket Ground will host the Mzansi Super League action between Cape Town Blitz and Durban Heat. The legends of the game, Blitz coach Aswell Prince and Heat mentor Gary Kirsten, will lead their teams in a crunch encounter this Thursday, 28 November at 5 p.m.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
Tune in live to SABC 3 and Radio 2000. SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun, for all.
Welcome back to PPC Newlands. Cape Town Blitz batting first, 139 for 3. We are at the back end of their batting innings with Livingston on 3 or 4 deliveries, who's just been joined by Asif Ali, who's on 1 of 1. Marco Jansen into his 3rd over. Oh, looking for that big shot. Livingston over mid-wicket. Instead beats the inside edge. Marco Jansen, dot ball through to the wicket keeper.
The crowd,
yeah,
you're hearing in the background, they're getting in on the act, they're having a fun time. And Livingston is really trying to hit this into, one of the oceans. There's 2 oceans in Cape Town. One of them's Indian Ocean. Perhaps he's heading in that direction. What's the other one? Atlantic?
Yeah.
Yep. That's the cold water, right?
Yeah. That's the cold one. That's the
water.
Benguela current.
You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. Even on a very hot day like it is at the moment. I'll never forget, really hot day. One of the hottest days in many years. We went to Kemps Bay and thought, we'll cool down. And you just can't get into that water.
Jansen, Fuller this time slower. Driven by Livingston on the offside or pick up a quick single.
It's so cold. It's ice cold. I mean, even on the hottest of days. The Indian Ocean's nice.
The Indian Ocean's lovely.
Muizenberg, you go down to
Atlantic's in single digits.
Yeah.
Quite often the temperature.
East London?
No, East London's on the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean, yeah. East London, Durban, PE, that's Indian Ocean.
Beautiful. East London, very beautiful beaches.
Very beautiful.
140 for 3, the Cape Town Blitz. Marco Jansen, he had to pick up a wicket today. Looked good the other night at Supersport Park Centurion. Working his way into T20 cricket as he's playing only his 4th straight this time. Worked off his pads by Asif Ali. Dot ball, 140 for 3. So he is learning on the job, Marco Jansen, and he's learning well. His first over, bowled seam up, back of a length, got good carry through to the wicket keeper. But as you said, he looked then to mix it up with the cutters and slow deliveries, meaning that he's realizing and reacting at his young age.
Yeah, he did go for a bit of tap in the 1 over, and I think they went after him. The batters, they ran at him as well. But this is a good over so far.
Comes in again, Fuller this time, full face of the bat from Asif Ali. Back off a long on, and it's over. No, it's taken. David Miller right on the ropes. He had to stretch his left arm just to get that, and it's a wicket for Marco Jansen.
A few dot balls, a bit of pressure build up, and Asif Ali was looking now to try and make up for those dot balls. Coming to the last 5 overs, and he needed to do something that's not too far from the boundary, but a comfortable catch for Miller close to the dugout, and they lose their 4th wicket for 140.
Well, Ali only made a single, and he faced 3 balls, and that partnership was 3 from 9.
Yeah, short-lived. Asif Ali was looking for that big shot. The shot perhaps was there, not quite timed it, so it will bring out a new batter. A trusted one, an all-rounder of note, the surgeon they call him in Test cricket, Vernon Philander.
Yeah, he can hit the long ball as well, Vernon Philander. When you watch him play in Test cricket, don't be mistaken, because he certainly can pull the long handle out.
Yeah.
He just slips that hand, slides it down to the right, to the end of the bat handle, and then he can hit the long ball. So let's see what he can do into the 17th over. There's 1 more ball remaining of the 17th over, but Philander won't be on strike because the bat is crossed while that ball was in the air.
I'll tell you what else he has, Vernon Philander, an impressive strike rate of 137, an average of just over 26 in his 121 matches.
That's decent.
Very decent. Jansen coming over the wicket to the right-handed Livingston, full this time from the youngster. A brilliant over. A wicket and just a single that he dished out, but 30 off 3 overs, and he's picked up a wicket, and with a smile on his face, it's 140 for 4 now, the Cape Town Blitz.
Yeah, that's a very good over. At this stage of the game, with wickets in hand, it's a very good. He bowled a few good Yorkers as well and picked up the wicket. So just a quiet over. It's exactly what the Durban Heat required at this stage, because the Blitz, just before Malan was dismissed, they were like a runaway train. Well, now they've just pulled it back a little. So if they continue at 10 and over, they'll get to 170 even from here on in. If they score at 10 and over, at the current run rate, they'll get to 165. So what's it going to be as the sun dips just below Table Mountain?
Yeah, beautiful sights.
Beautiful sights in Cape Town.
Who's going to bowl the last 3, gentlemen?
So who's got overs left?
Well, Jansen's got
Jansen
1
has 1, Abbott has 1, Petlukwayo has 1, Maharaj is bowled out, Bupara and Siboto have 2 each.
Well, I suspect those first 3 will probably bowl the 3.
Well,
no,
we've got 1 wrong. Siboto's got bowled in Yeah, it took some tapping in his second over, Malusi Siboto, but he's got experience. He can mix it up. As he trots along towards Vernon Philander, straight to this time. Vernon Philander opens his blade, pushes at it, and he'll pick up a single, and he'll look for a 2. They'll look for a single, and they'll find 2, in fact. Vernon Philander and Livingston. Misfield inside the circle by Marco Jansen. Has been inside that circle, has taken a brilliant catch, standing at mid-wicket. He stopped a certain boundary at backward point, and on this occasion he just let one go past him. And he went through for a second. He's picked up a wicket though, Marco Jansen, as the youngster continues his cricket in South African domestic cricket. As Siboto comes in straight at this time, a ball that jacked back into Vernon Philander. Scampered through for a single, 142, 43 for 4 now.
He's getting a bit of shape back into Philander on that occasion. And he's still bowling length deliveries, he's Siboto, but he's bowled deliveries here, 2 and a single. The first one, of course, there was a misfield, as you mentioned, there's 6. Went for 1 big over, but quiet over here. We'll pull it back for him.
Yeah, what's also been interesting with the Heats is how one bowler has been able to apply pressure and someone else at the other end being able to back it up. I say that it was Andile Peshwakwaya who bowled a brilliant over, and I think it was the 3rd over that went for just 3 runs, and it was Kai Abbott who backed that up at the other end. So perhaps they want to finish off in that fashion here as Malusi Siboto comes in again. Shorter, steps inside the line. Livingston, does he have enough? No. Just short of Keshav Maharaj, who had to make some ground coming off the ropes. But they'll pick up 2. Looking for that big boundary, Livingston.
I must have thought that had gone all the way, but somehow he didn't middle it. Siboto still hitting a hard length. He's bowling it into the surface. He's not going for the Yorkers. And that one held up. It hung in the air, and Maharaj just couldn't get to it.
Siboto, again, full at this time, onto the crease, worked onto that backward point region. I'll pick up a single. This is good stuff from Malusi Siboto. You don't mind the singles. Yeah, they can take an occasional 1 or 2 there, here and there, but it's the boundaries that you want to nullify at this stage of the game. You know they're looking for those big shots. You know how the likes of Livingston are looking to find those big boundaries. So your lines and your lengths and your communication with your captain and your field placing needs to be pinpoint. Siboto. Shorter this time. Played off the back foot. Vernon Philander. Oh, classy. Past the man at backward point. They'll pick up 4 more. 150 on the board now for Cape Town Blitz with 4 wickets down.
That was very well played by Philander. Very elegant. Back of a length delivery outside off stump. I'm not sure that's the right length to be bowling, but anyway, perhaps maybe he thought Philander was going to run at him. Banged it in and paid the price. But this is beautifully played. Backward a point on the offside. Back foot punch. Philander moves to 7. Livingston on 7. 150 for 4.
Siboto, fuller this time. Driven down the ground by Vernon Philander. There's a cry for 2. He'll pick up 1. Look for a second. No, he'll turn it down. Great fielding from Bopara. End of the over. 151 for 4. The Cape Town Blitz after 18. Livingston is on 7. Philander on 8. We're going to take a short break.
Dear Dad, I sent you this text because I'm scared to face you. However, I want to know. I want to know, why is Mom ever so terrified of you, yet you claim that she's your queen? In my knowledge, queens don't get yelled at and beaten up by their kings. Or could this be your way of grooming me into a man? As a young man, I just want to know what's wrong and what's right, as my future relies on you. Please advise.
Brought to you by Love Life. This is an SABC Foundation supported initiative.
The grass at Super Sport Park will struggle to grow when the hosts, Tshwane Spartans, face Paul Rocks. Both captains want nothing but victory. It is Heinrich Klaassen versus Faf du Plessis this Friday, 29 November at 5 p.m.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
Be part of the action. Tune in live to SABC3 and Radio 2000. SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
Our expressive family just got a whole lot bigger as we welcome 2 new faces.
Hey, I'm Gusha Adams.
And I'm Jamie Lee Domberg.
And we can't wait to wake up with you every morning.
That's right, you can catch us every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m.
where we bring you the best of morning entertainment, scrumptious meals, and insightful interviews.
It's going to be a feel-good extravaganza.
Only on SABC3.
Welcome back to PPC Newlands, where the first over of, the first ball of the 19th over went for a glorious one drive from Vernon Philander, picking up a boundary, 155 for 4 now, as Jansen continues straight again, full as well. And he'll collect it, does the bowler. A dot ball, 155 for 4. Well, at some point, they look like they would be around 180, 185. The Cape Town Blitz with Malan and Livingston going at it together with Bedingham, looking like we're going to put up a big total, but it's almost as if we've gone back to that average, Julia, of 165.
Yeah, well, they may well be around about the 165 mark.
Janssen. Fuller this time, whacked away. Vernon Philander, 2 bounces, and over the ropes, 4 more.
But if Philander keeps playing like this and a few more boundaries, they could get to 170, 180. So there's still an over remaining after this one. Remember that. Just a little fuller, misses his length by just a foot or 2. And Vernon Philander is now finding the middle of that, Julia.
Yeah, who do you think is going to bowl the last over, though? That's going to make the difference.
It will be Kyle Abbott.
I'm pretty sure it'll be Kyle Abbott.
Has to be him. Marco Janssen, he's taken a tapping here, 2 boundary in his 3 deliveries. Shorter this time, opens the blade, Vernon Philander, but not a lot of pace behind that ball, so not past the man at short third man. They'll pick up a single, though, 160 for 4. That's been productive from Vernon Philander. That's a sort of situation where you do come in at the back end of a batting innings. You only have, about 12, 10 deliveries that you can face. And so in front of us, we had Gijima coming up against, or coming ahead of Vernon Philander, but they've obviously realized that Vernon Philander is in form in this Mzansi Super League as Janssen continues. Full toss, split on the leg side by Livingston. 1 bounce in front of the man at fine leg. I'm not quite sure if this was
no ball.
No ball. There's a signal and an inquiry from Vernon Philander to Sipelele Gasa, who's the on-field umpire on the north side.
Yeah, and that's what Livingston's querying at the moment. He's just having a look at
square leg.
Umpire Alaudin Palka, asking him what happened there. Why wasn't that called a no ball? It did look, I must say, above waist height. It definitely looked above waist height. So I'm surprised that they haven't called. Or are they calling it? No.
Well, play continues. Janssen outside the off stump continues pushing it away from the right-handed Livingston, who was looking to fetch him outside the off stump. A dot to end the over. 11 from it. It's 162 for 4 with 1 over remaining for the Cape Town Blitz. After batting first, Quinton de Kock going out with Malan, looking to get off to another good start, but it was their captain who fell off cheaply today. Quinton de Kock, 10 runs of 15 deliveries, which meant Yaneman Malan again from that opening night of the Mzansi Super League, where he scored 99, scored 75 today of 42 deliveries.
So I'm just having a look at that last delivery there. Livingston throws his bat up in the air, not pretty pleased, because that looked wide. It looked very wide, because he did go a little bit across his stumps, but then Janssen bowled the ball extremely wide outside off stump. Remember, his left armer bowling across, so it looked to me that was outside his reach. It wasn't called a wide. So 2 decisions there. The last 2 deliveries questionable.
Yep.
But, you know, sometimes you can look at that either way. Umpire's decision is always final. Unfortunately for the batters, the one was a no ball, or should have been called a no ball, according to Livingston, who was batting at the time. And the other one was borderline wide. So, well, those little decisions could be crucial. And Julia was right. Abbott will bowl the last over. Who else has got overs in hand, Julia?
Plenty. There's plenty of options
yeah.
they have there.
Abbott obviously has this one.
Yeah.
Andile Peklukwayo has
Peklukwayo,
one, and then Bopara has 2, and Siboto has 1.
I'll tell you what Abbott has, Jules. He's got 1 slip. Man at short third man and short fine leg as he's worked off by Vernon Philander off that offside area. They'll pick up a single. So, yeah, it's quite clear what they're trying to do here, Kyle Abbott. Yeah, has his shouts to his captain. He wants a square leg up. He was a short third man as well inside the circle. What is he thinking to do here, Kyle Abbott?
Yeah, he's going block hole. He's going to bowl those in-swinging Yorkers into the base of off stump. Now, what's Livingston looking at? Let's have a look. He's standing outside off stump at the moment. He's surveying the field like an inspector, a general. He's having a look now at the gaps. He's standing way outside off stump. Where is he? What's he doing?
I have never seen this.
He's completely exposing his stumps behind his legs. He's standing way outside off stump. So he's obviously asking Abbott to bowl at the stumps, isn't he? Because what Abbott's doing is he probably wants the ball. Now he's gone back.
Yeah.
So the field changes. There's a game of cat and mouse going on here.
He's gone back
He's
wide.
gone back outside off stump.
Outside off stump.
Way
Kyle
out.
Abbott, here he is. Follows him. Full and straight. Kyle Abbott, Livingston underneath it, and it's 6 runs. Into that construction area here at Newlands.
That is sailed over the boundary. And all his experience, Livingston, coming to the 4-year. He was playing a game of cat and mouse before Abbott even bowled that first delivery. And had he stood in his crease and in a normal batting position, probably would have had to drive this through the offside to mid-off. But he went right across his stump, stood there, and he asked Abbott to do something different, which Abbott was now probably caught in two minds, didn't know what to do. But it was that in-swinging Yorker. But my word, he really hit this well. It wasn't a bad delivery. He probably just missed his length by a few inches. But he got under that. Beautiful, ferocious hitting. Absolutely out the middle of the bat, Livingston.
A bit of work here for the 4th umpire, Clifford Isaacs. New balls, please. Yeah, that went a mile. But
it's gone into the bowling side,
the bolting side, yeah. So it might have been scuffed up the ball there. But what a shot. Livingston. We saw him the other night. And we saw him the other night really living up to his reputation, finding quick runs for the Cape Town Blitz, finding quick runs for this crowd that has come in here at Cape Town at PPC Newlands.
Yeah, very impressive, very impressive. So the Blitz, 4 balls remaining. What can they do with this 4 balls? What's Abbott going to do?
So Sue, we've gone past the average. 169 for 4 now.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Livingston, 15 of 14. Philander, 8 of 9. As Kyle comes again, gets underneath it. Livingston hits him straight. Over him, 6 more. Over long on. He's turning it on here, Livingston. Making sure they finish on a high. It's 175 for 4.
Wow, this is remarkable power hitting. And again, this time Abbott follows him. He tries to go a little wide outside off stump. Doesn't want to open the leg side. But my word, this is proper power hitting. He goes back over the bowler's head.
Coming in again, Abbott looking to line him. Livingston, oh, it's even bigger. 6 more, over long on this time. It's party time at PPC Newlands, 181 for 4.
My word, and Kyle Abbott is normally so consistent with his lengths. He bowls the Yorker at will. He just missed on 3 occasions here. He's missed his length. And I think the gamesmanship from Livingston before that first ball had just got the better of Abbott here. He was in 2 minds, 3 minds, not sure what line to bowl, what length to bowl, because all 3 of these sixes, Livingston standing way outside off stump. The legs, all his stumps are exposed behind his legs, and Abbott is not too sure where to bowl. Now, what does he do? Is there going to be a field change? No.
Abbott.
181 for 4. 2 balls remaining.
Livingston comes onto the stumps. There's an appeal, full and straight, and that's how it is. Finally, Kyle Abbott picks up his man after fetching some leather early on in that over. It's 181 for 5, but what an entertaining innings from Livingston, who has to depart after some big boundaries in that final over.
Yeah, that was some phenomenal power hitting, and this is well bowled by Abbott, because this time he doesn't go outside off stump. He knows if he bowls straight or attacks the stump, the risk is you open the leg side up, the ball could end up anywhere in the leg side. And but that was an impressive little cameo of an innings from Liam Livingston. And he departs, unfortunately for the crowd here, 181 for 5. Julia?
Liam Livingston made 27 from 17. He hit 3 sixes. And the partnership was 41 from 18 balls.
Thank you very much, Jules. Very productive partnership, that. 41 of 18. I say it's productive. It came rapidly for the Cape Town Blitz, who were looking like they were going to struggle even just to get past 165. Well, Livingston came out there and took it to the bowlers. 27 of 17 deliveries, which has propelled his side to 181 for 5 now, which is roughly about where we had said after a turn of 10 overs they'll be looking, the Cape Town Blitz. Wahab Riaz, the man who's out there now, who joins Vernon Philander. The strike rate of 133 with 2 deliveries remaining. Vernon Philander. There's Kyle Abbott, in fact, comes to Wahab Riaz, past the outside edge, ends what was a an eventful over. 19 of the first 4 deliveries, but Kyle Abbott bringing it back in the end, finding the wicket of Livingston. LBW to remove him for 27. End of the innings for the Cape Town Blitz after Dane Villas lost the toss. Quinton de Kock electing to bat first with his side, and not off to the best of starts. I say that the first 2 overs were quite rapid, but Andile Petlukwayo, Kyle Abbott managed to pull things back in that power play. 46 for 1 they managed, the Cape Town Blitz, in that power play, but it was the fall of wickets that really kept the Durban Heat in the hunt. It was the bowlers that kept them in the hunt, but it was Livingston and Bedingham who really, and Malan rather, really took it away from the Durban Heat. And there's a lot to learn from the likes of Marco Jansen as the youngster continues his career in T20 cricket, only getting his 4th opportunity today. So a lot to learn from him, particularly when he plays with the likes of Keshav Maharaj, who bowled particularly well today, not for 24 in his 4 overs. Not someone who's spoken of in white ball cricket in South Africa, but has really pitched up today for his captain. And we're going to hear now from Yanaman Malan.
Fantastic, not today. 181 on the total. You've got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's a good target to set them on this wicket, and Newlands especially. I think they have a good chance.
160 thereabouts, fell short against the Rocks. This feels like a competitive total. What do your bowlers, now that you've spent time out in the crease, need to do?
Yeah, I think we need to play the conditions as it come. If the wind starts rising a bit or if it sets, we need to adapt and see what happened in the first innings, and then just every bowler needs to stick to their strengths.
Lastly, of course, it looks like you were hitting it sweetly today. The conditions out there from a batting perspective, how did it feel, and what was the difference now in today's knock?
Yeah, I think today try to get myself in a bit, and then at the end, you can, when you're used to the pace of the wicket, you can just set yourself, stand still, and try and hit the ball as hard as you can.
Okay, you were doing that. Beautiful to watch. Congratulations. You are now the tournament's leading run scorer.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, he really stood still today. Looked to line them up, the Yanaman Malan, but it was his partnership with David Bedingham that really set it up for the likes of Livingston and Vernon Philander to really find those boundaries at the back end. Well, we have an innings break at the moment. It is 181 for 5, the Cape Town Blitz. It was Yanaman Malan who went out there first with Quinton de Kock, the first wicket to fall, 10 of 15. He managed to muster today, the wicket keeper, but it was Yanaman Malan, 75 of 42, stole the show for the Cape Town Blitz. And as you've just heard now, he is the current tournament leading run scorer. Livingston also came out, 27 of 17. Asif Ali, 1 of 3. And it was Vernon Philander with these 18 runs that really helped the situation after what had looked to be a struggle just to get to 165 for the Cape Town Blitz. 181 for 5 they managed in their innings, so it will be 182 to get for the Durban Heats. But for the Durban Heats, there was some bowling, outstanding bowling from Keshav Maharaj, and I'm going to ask Jules to just give us those stats.
So Keshav Maharaj, 4 overs, 0 for 24.
Yep.
Then Jansen, 4 overs, 1 for 41. Abbott, 4 overs, 2 for 32. Petlukwayo, 3 overs, 1 for 22. Maharaj, I've given you. Bopara, 2 overs, 0 for 21. Siboto, 3 overs, 1 for 40.
There it is. It was Keshav Maharaj who pulled it in around that end of the power play area, but it was Jansen and Abbott who really at some point picked up those wickets. You felt that they were important wickets, or else Yanaman Malan would have easily gotten to his 100 and really set up a daunting target than the 182 that they have.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they've got a long batting order. We spoke about the fact that they went with the extra batter. So, you know, just having that insurance, that luxury of all the batting right down till 10, they could afford to really go. But I thought they handled it quite well. You know, 181 was is above par score. It looks a good score. I think it's something they definitely will feel confident that they can defend. And you know, the thing is, it's not all out hitting or slogging in T20 cricket. You still need to get a bit of a partnership going. And that's what they did quite well. I mean, that 100 partnership was what got them to this total, and then it allowed the batters later on, like Livingston, to come in and do what he could do towards the end. Philander as well, nice little cameo there. So good contributions all around in that particular innings, but But there's lovely little innings there from Janneman Malan. I thought, just talking about bowling to Janneman Malan, it's important, I think, probably from a tactical perspective. How do you bowl to him? Because he runs at you, he backs away, literally loves hitting through the offside. And I think probably something bowlers will need to look at, because especially the youngsters, like Jansen on that occasion, Malan was running at him and hitting him back over his head or through the offside. You've got 2 or 3 choices. You can either follow him into his pairs, in which case you open up the leg side. You can bowl exactly at the stumps, in which case you allow him to free his arms. Or alternatively, something which I think probably they should have done a little more to him today, is when you see him backing away and running at you, bowl a little wide outside off stump, Yorker length, full, a little bit out of his reach. And perhaps they could have done that, not all the time, because you also don't want to be predictable, but every now and then, the moment you see him backing away, because he loves playing through the offside, so you just want to push that ball away from him. But it's easier said than done, because once you're there, batters do that quite well. And I thought Malan was running at not every ball. He was unexpectedly every now and then just running at the batter, at the bowler. And that's what makes it more difficult. So as a bowler, when you're running in, you now got to make a decision on the spur of the moment. As you're about to deliver, change your mind. Not easy.
Dale Steyn, Sisana Magala, Wahab Riaz, Mohammad Nawaz, Vernon Philander, Aviwim Kijima, Asif Ali. It's going to be a tough ask for the Durban Heats to find 182 runs up against Dale Steyn, who's, I think if I'm not mistaken, Julia, leading wicket taker in the Mzansi Super League alongside Junior Dalla.
Yes, I think you're right. I'll check for you.
Sisana Magala has been impressive with these 2 overs that he gets up front and 2 at the back end. Wahab Riaz, Vernon Philander, who will get an honest 4 overs from. So it's not going to be easy for Durban Heat, but they've got the firepower. They've got Villas, they've got Libba, they've got Alex Hales up front together with Marshall, but they've got the experience of Miller and Bopara.
Yeah, I mean, Durban Heat will feel that they really need to get a win here, and they're going to have to bat well, particularly the top order. I think they need a good start. That's what the Blitz got today. They got a decent-ish start, and then that second wicket partnership got them into a very solid position. The Durban Heat need that. Against the Giants on Saturday, they lost early wickets and they were in trouble, and then they needed a partnership to rescue the innings. They certainly don't want to do that. They want to try and be proactive and get a good partnership going early in the innings. If they can do that, set the platform, and then launch later on, but also continue scoring at a decent run rate. I mean, the batters they've got, like Hales, Marshall's stroke player, Libba, we saw what he can do, Villas, Miller. I mean, they're all stroke players. Yeah. They're good players. Bopara and Miller, fantastic partnership from them against the Giants on Saturday. They rescued the innings, really. Yep. They got them into a decent position. It still wasn't enough, but they rescued the innings after collapse from the top order. So they don't want to see that. It's so important in T20 cricket, even though it is T20 cricket, you still can't, in that first 6 overs, you want to try and attack the power play, but you also still don't want to be losing more than 2 wickets in that power play, because once you do that, the batters coming in at 4, 5 and 6 are under a little bit of pressure. They need a little bit of time to get themselves in. And let's just have a look at that batting lineup. Now, we spoke about the Cape Town Blitz, who were batting right down to 10.
Yeah.
Right, Magala was at 10.
With all due respect to Dale Steyn, who can hit it a mile. But
yeah. And you look at the Durban Heat, Bopara at 6, Petukwayo at 7, Maharaj at 8. So basically that's where it kind of not ends. I mean, you obviously bowling all-rounders, but essentially Petukwayo and Maharaj bowling all-rounders. So they battle 6 with solid batters, top-order batters, and then 7, 8 batting all-rounders, bowling all-rounders. If you look at the Cape Town Heat, they were batting right down to, I think 8. They bat down to 8. Yeah. They bat down to 8. The Blitz, sorry. So if they lose early wickets, they're under pressure, and we saw that on Saturday against the Giants. So they need a good start.
Yep, that's going to be needed from the Durban Heat, who are looking for a win in this Mzansi Super League 2.0. 182 is the target. We will be back in a short while with the second innings. Stay tuned here on Radio 2000.
Thank you. Good catch, Mukwe.
That's a good catch.
The most eligible bachelor in town. He was the scene of hearts, a lover, a seducer, Sejabana. Yeah. But when Mzansi Super League came back with overhead boundary catches and fence slip catches, good catch looked average.
The Mzansi Super League, fast, fun for all. Starts 8 November. Catch it at the stadium through Ticket Pro or on SABC3 or SABC Radio. SABC, the official broadcaster of the MSL.
SABC News. Independent and impartial.
Good evening, and look at the headlining stories. As the country marks the 16 days of no violence against women and children, President Cyril Ramaphosa has withdrawn from a scheduled interview with the Johannesburg-based radio station. In a statement, the presidency says Ramaphosa withdrew after noting concerns raised by two civil society organizations on the character of the show's host, Given Mkari. Meanwhile, Gauteng Cooperative Governance MEC Lebogang Maile says he has noted with regret the decision by Johannesburg Council Speaker Vasco da Gama
A story of this lady. She left her shack to go and sell in Joburg in the CBD, only for her son to leave the candle still lit. And it's a classic story. Her shack caught fire.
So Radio 2000 Joe has done their bit in helping out Umama, and there are a couple of people who have, made pledges to help.
So we at Sleep Masters would gladly give her a queen size bed and valued at 7,000 rand. I'm planning on, maybe pledging 2,000.
And teaching him Maponya Mall at 2,500 rand.
I'd like to donate with your cushions, storage baskets, and safe candle holders. We'd like to give 1,000 rand.
I'm giving 1,000 rand.
Mama, if you guys are the best.
Oh, sis.
To all our contributors, thank you.
to Newlands. We're just moments away from the second innings of Game 18 in MSL 2.0, the Mzansi Super League here at Newlands. The sun has just set behind the mountain. It'll still be sunny in Camps Bay, but we're in shadow now with the orange glow of the sunshine behind the mountain, and the prospect of Cape Town Blitz defending 181 for 5, and Durban Heat to pick up their first victory, needing 182 for victory. It's going to be a remarkable split in the table if the home side do manage to win this game and make their record 4-3, 1-4, lost 3 out of the 7 games, because it would leave the Durban Heat and the Jersey Stars cut adrift at the bottom of the table, and just 4 teams in competition for the playoff game, second and third, and of course the team finishing top progresses straight to the final. Alongside me, Quinton Friend, we saw an innings of remarkable fluctuation, up and down, and that's not always the case in a T20 innings, but there were times we thought Cape Town Blitz would struggle to get 160. We thought they might get 200, then we thought they were back to 160, and they ended up with 181.
Yeah, indeed, Neil Manthorpe, and I feel that they did superbly well to get to 181 for 5. You look at the way Janneman Malan played up front there, and that partnership he had with David Bedingham. I think that partnership was worth 101 off around 39 deliveries. So they really did well to in that section of the game, and you thought that was the time that was probably going to be, where they would be looking to get about 190 probably. And then, there was a little bit of a slow start from Liam Livingston, who then pushed on at the end with Vernon Philander to get them to that 181, which is a respectable total, one feels on this surface.
Alex Hales and Wesley Marshall have made their way out to the middle, or they're just arriving in the middle now. And it's so important that they try to get ahead of the game. You would think that chasing 180, they won't be particularly aiming for, but you can't help but wonder if 60 for 1 or 60 without loss would be the ideal platform for them to chase down 182. Vernon Philander will bowl the first over, and he'll be bowling it to Wesley Marshall. Again, you were talking about Marshall and his rapid rise into the MSL. The T20 games that he has played, he's been very, very impressive. I suppose it's important for the coach and the captain to just make sure that a young guy like him relaxes and just doesn't worry about, doesn't play for himself, just see ball, hit ball.
Yeah, he normally, he definitely won't be playing for himself. He'll be looking to get after things.
Short, pulled away out towards mid-wicket, 6, first delivery. Vernon Philander, back of a length. Oh, Wesley Marshall. There you go.
Well, there you have it, don't you, Neil? I mean, you won't be playing for yourself if you play a shot like that first ball. It's a short delivery first up, and Marshall is onto it in a flash, and he hits that way in front of square for the first maximum for the Durban Heat. And what a start that is. And that puts Vernon Philander under pressure from ball 1. And this is the way Marshall plays in that provincial T20 competition. 269 runs in 6 matches at a strike rate of a massive 185.
Vernon Philander, that was the wrong length. He's in once again. Marshall off the back foot, punches it away through the offside for 4 more. Sander Magala at cover had no chance. Oh wow, 10 off the first 2 deliveries. That's I wasn't expecting that from Vernon Philander.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, but that's a really good cricket stroke, this, from Wesley Marshall. I mean, not much wrong with the delivery. Even though it's a pretty good length, he just rocked back onto the back foot and punches it through the offside to beat that point fielder and cover in that cover region.
Here is Philander. Oh, he's under pressure. This is a much better delivery. It's steered away towards backward point. Viwe Ngajima dives to his left and makes the stop, but they've gone through for another single. So Wesley Marshall, thank you very much. That'll do very nicely indeed. 6-4-1. Over to you, Alex Hales. 11 without loss, 3 balls gone.
Yeah, and Alex Hales will want to really stamp his authority on this tournament as well. Hasn't been all that good up the order as yet. You feel that the Durban Heat just haven't had that perfect game as yet with a bat.
Here's Philander, bowls to Hales, and sliced away behind square on the offside, beats backward point. Viwe Ngajima dives once more, this time can't get a hand to it, and neither can Asif Ali, running around the cover boundary. Oh dear me, what an over. This is 6 2 4s, 15 4 balls.
Yeah, what a wonderful start. It's exactly what they would have wanted, this Durban Heat outfit. And I mean, it's a massive batting lineup. Alex Hales, Marshall, Vian Libber caught a really good innings in that first game. Dane Villas, David Miller, Ravi Bopara,
and Dilip Petlakwayo. It goes on and on. This time Alex Hales steers it to short third man, where it's fielded by David Bedingham, and there's no run, a dot ball. That's some light relief.
Yeah, I was gonna continue, so I just stopped for that delivery. I mean, like you say, it does go on and on, because, I mean, after Andile Petlakwayo, Keshav Maharaj can also hit a ball out the ground. That's
Marco Jansen.
I mean, it just does continue. Kyle Abbott can do a bit of that as well. More than capable.
15 off the first over so far, still a ball to go. The Cape Town Blitz have got a slip in. Liam Livingston punched straight back down the ground with enormous power from Hales. Vernon Philander dives to his right, can't get a hand to it, and it's 4 more. Well, what an over that is. That is magnificent. It started with the short ball from Vernon Philander, first delivery. Completely unexpected. I mean, we just see him start in that test mode, hitting the top of off, and he's gone short, not back of a length, he's gone short. Wesley Marshall smashed him over deep mid-wicket for 6. And the Durban Heat were off and running. I suppose Philander was thinking, I bet he's not going to be expecting this.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty in T20 cricket is, you could very easily, someone like Vernon Philander come and bowl your normal test lengths that you'd be looking to bowl. If you get it slightly wrong at the type of pace that he is bowling at, in the white ball format, and the type of in the way that batters play inside of the power play, you feel it's a difficult situation. If you just miss your length, someone like Philander, it will get punished, and that's exactly what Alex Hales and Marshall have done in this first over. Dale Steyn, he'll be coming in from the Calvin Grove end.
Slip in place as Steyn is in. Bowl, slower ball first up, and that's wonderfully bowled. Wesley Marshall was slightly deceived momentarily, pushed it to backward point. Viwe Ngajima does the fielding and then has a shy at the stumps. Perhaps that was justified, was it? But it's cost a run. That should have been a dot ball. It went straight to Ngajima. He had a shy at the stumps. Yes, Marshall had left his ground. He was thinking about a single, but I think Dale Steyn would have preferred him to keep hold of the ball and make sure that it was a dot ball. Nonetheless, it's single. Alex Hales is now on strike. It's 20 without loss after just 7 deliveries. Steyn continuing with a slip, and then 4 men saving 1 in a semicircle on the offside, 2 on the leg side, short third man, and long on. Hales plays defensively. You won't see Alex Hales taking liberties against Dale Steyn. It's not just reputation, it's because batsmen know which bowlers are in form, and I don't think he'll be taking too many chances against Steyn.
Yeah, I mean, he's been magnificent in this tournament, and he's just hit such good areas. He's bowled with really good pace, and it's been good to see. It's really been good to see. Looks really fit as well.
Here is Steyn up to the crease now, bowls another slower ball drifting in towards middle stump. Hales turns it out towards deep square leg. Asif Ali comes in to do the fielding, and a brilliant pick up and throw. Steyn doesn't know, he's not sure whether that has actually hit the stumps direct. You heard in your stump mic the bails fall off, and Steyn's just not quite sure whether the ball hit the stumps first or whether his hand hit the stumps first, and neither is the umpire, so he's decided to ask for a replay. But it's Mohammad Nawaz, isn't it, who actually did the fielding. He came running in from mid-off.
Yeah, I think his hands might have just touched the stumps before the ball actually made contact with him. But in saying that, Marshall's also made his ground in that end, so it should be not out the decision on the big screen, but we're just waiting for a moment to see what that decision will be.
I think the button's faulty, because it was very clearly not out.
Yeah.
And the big screen keeps saying decision pending. I think they might have to resort to the audio here, the walkie-talkie. There we go. The big screen is stuck, and the little buzz on the radio on the back of Alahadin Palakar's belt, and he's picked it up. And third umpire Abdullah Steenkamp has said, "It's not out, mate. Let's get on with it." There we go, not out. So it's a big scoreboard. Here's Steyn. Big appeal for leg before wicket. Up goes the finger. Alex Hales has gone. It looked middle and leg to the naked eye, and Quinton Friend had his finger up even before the umpire did. He had you had leg stump cartwheeling towards the keeper there, Quinton.
Yeah, I think that's spot on, Neil Manthorpe. I mean, it just looked a really, really good shot from Dale Steyn, and he's been so good. He's been at the stumps the whole time. And the feet not moving all that well from Alex Hales. I think, Aludin Palakar took his time before giving that out, and it probably would have gone on to smash into the leg stump. So Alex Hales, and that's a big wicket for the Cape Town Blitz. He's LBW bowled Steyn. Julia, you got some numbers for us, please?
I do indeed. He made 10, he faced 6 balls, and he hit 2 fours. He was only there for 7 minutes. 22 was the partnership, and they faced 10 balls together.
Julie, another question from me.
Mm-hmm.
Which team has taken your fancy in the MSL? Have you developed an affinity?
Well, my team is normally the Natal KZN side, and they've hardly played any games because of the inclement weather.
But they still, whether Durban Heat had caught your fancy.
Why would they not?
Well, I don't know. It hasn't worked for everybody.
No, I know.
The regions. Here's Dale Steyn, and that one is steered by Vihan Luba down towards third man by the tall, powerful left-hander. Like Mlekin Sabo, for example. He's born and bred Port Elizabeth man, and he's just has no affinity at all with the Nelson Mandela Bay Giants.
You joke.
Even the Pile Rocks his team in the MSL.
Well, what's yours?
Pile Rocks, actually. I love the ground. I love what they've done there. I love how it looks. It's got a capacity of 6,500 for MSL games, and you get 6,500 a couple of times. It's been brilliant. Here's Dale Steyn. Slower ball and beautifully bowled. Oh, he's called a wide. That's harsh. Yes, it's gone down the leg side, but the batsman absolutely, completely and utterly flummoxed. That was the 102 kilometre slower ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. The real floaty one. Let me tell you, Dale Steyn had got that online. You definitely would have thought it might have hit the pad, if not bowled. Wesley Marshall. It was very, very well disguised slow ball from the experienced Steyn. A little laugh as well from Marshall.
Laugh of appreciation, I think. Bowled in! Oh, middle stump! Out of the ground! Well, you tell you what, you ask me which team I like. When Dale Steyn's doing his stuff for the Cape Town Blitz, you got...
Oh, then you liked him.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah,
that was brilliant.
I must say, I mean, it's just wonderful to see Dale Steyn in full tilt again. I mean, it's such a good length as well. It's a hard length. It's over 140 k's an hour, and he looks like he's back in his prime again. He just looks so hungry to do well in even though it's a T20 competition. He's running in with such control. The intensity's right up there, and all of a sudden he's got 2 for 5 in his first over. And how things have changed all of a sudden after that first over. Julia, you got some numbers for us on Wesley Marshall?
Sure, I do. He made 12. He faced 5 balls with a 4 and a 6, and the partnership was 2 from 3 deliveries. So Dale Steyn now is well clear. He has 12 wickets of Junior Dala, who has 10.
But the economy rate is a little different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the average. I mean, as traumatic as Vernon Fernandez' first over was for the Cape Town Blitz when he went for 19, this is the complete opposite. Dale Steyn is now thanking and acknowledging the crowd who are giving him a standing ovation and a hearty round of applause for a magnificent over. Here's Vernon Philander. Can he make amends for that scary first over? And the first delivery, Lubber gets a thick inside edge down to short fine leg. It's fielded by Beddingham, and there's no run. That's super slow ball from Dale Steyn. How does he bowl that? How does it come out with its fingers?
Yeah, it actually comes out between the thumb and the obviously the thumb and the index finger, and then so what he does is he actually holds it deeper in his hand. So deeper in the hand, and just literally pulling down with the outside of the hand, pulling down as hard as he can, actually gets the revolutions of the ball to be more of a top spinner.
Here is Philander into Lubber, this time off the back foot, punches it to Sisanda Magala at backward point. Because, I mean, for 80% of the ball flight, it looked like it was going to be a knee-high full toss.
Yeah, and I think because of it being more top spin, you need the revolutions to be going forward, and a little bit maybe from left to right in the rotations for it to dip as quickly as it does. And I think that's what he does really, really well, Dale Steyn, in executing that specific slower delivery. I mean, there's a massive change-up of pace, almost 40 k's an hour.
It's amazing, isn't it? And no wonder Wesley Marshall was so deceived by it. Here is Philander again, drive and a miss from the big left-hander. Lubber driving towards mid-off. Little bit of movement from Vernon Philander. I asked whether he could make amends. Of course he can. Of course he can make amends. 3 dot balls now to go with the 19 off his first over. 24 for 2. The men out, Alex Hales. LBW's Dale Steyn for 10. And Wesley Marshall bowled by Dale Steyn for 12. So Vian Lubber has been joined by Dane Villas, Captain Dane Villas. Target is 182. Suddenly it's looking a long way away. Here is Philander. And Lubber gets lucky. Back of a length outside the off stump, looks for the cut shot, gets a bottom edge and drags it back past leg stump down towards fine leg boundary, and David Beddingham's the man who does the chasing, slides, hauls it back a couple of metres before it reaches the rope. So a couple of fortuitous runs for Vian Lubber, who's up to 3. Dane Villas yet to face a delivery. Heaps of batting to come, as Quinton Friend was just saying. David Miller, Ravi Bapara and Dilipet Laquayo, Keshab Maharaj, Marco Jansen. It goes on and on and on. And but for the next few overs, Durban Heat need to make sure that they just consolidate. They don't want to be 3 or 4 down in the power play. Beautiful cover drive from Lubber. Vernon Philander slightly over pitching, and just classic cricket shot put away through extra cover for 4. 30 for 2.
Yeah, just not executing according to plan for Vernon Philander. Just been off his lengths this evening. Just looking for that little bit of a floater actually that just goes across the left-handed Vian Lubber. Just wants to take a little bit of pace off it for some reason. Almost comes out as if it's a knuckleball, but Vian Lubber equal to the task here, dispatching it through that extra cover region. He's a really good player, the left-handed Lubber.
Here is Vernon Philander once again, and that one is punched powerfully up towards Wahab Riaz at mid-off, right on the edge of the circle, so they're able to scamper through for a single. 3 overs gone. Durban Heat needing 182. 30 for 2.
Can I pay my SABC TV license at ShopRite Money Market? Yep. And stand a chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand in ShopRite vouchers? Yebo. Simply pay your TV license at any participating ShopRite Money Market and stand a chance to win. And soon, you'll be able to register for your TV license in store. Only at ShopRite Money Market, in partnership with SABC TV licenses. Competition ends 24 December. T's and C's apply.
Our expressive family just got a whole lot bigger as we welcome 2 new faces.
Hey, I'm Gusha Adams.
And I'm Jamie Lee Domberg.
And we can't wait to wake up with you every morning.
That's right, you can catch us every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. where we bring you the best of morning entertainment, scrumptious meals, and insightful interviews. It's going to be a feel-good extravaganza. Only on SABC 3.
30 for 2 into the 4th over, as Dale Steyn is in once again, running away from us, steered towards backward point. Ngijima does the tidying up. We just saw a fascinating graphic on television illustrating the variety of speeds in Dale Stein's first over, in which he took 2 for 5. And that super slow ball, I said it was 102 kilometres an hour. It was 88.
98.3.
Oh.
98.3. And 4 of the other deliveries were over 140 k's an hour. And the other slower ball was 117. So really mixing things up is Dale Steyn. Yeah, he's just been brilliant. First 2 deliveries of this over, been on the button again.
Here is Steyn. He bowls that super slow one again. And again it dips down towards leg stump, and it's just turned away for a single out towards deep square leg. That one.
104 k's an hour.
You know, Keshab, just to illustrate to the listeners, Keshab Maharaj is capable of bowling at that speed.
Yeah, indeed he is. I mean, his quicker one is about 100 k's an hour. Yeah. So it just shows you. I mean, it's even though Dale Steyn's one's coming out with more of a loop, where Keshav Maharaj's one will be a lot flatter at 104 k's an hour.
Well, actually, I mean, Steyn is just such a tour de force at the moment that the Durban Heat batsman could be forgiven for thinking we're going to have to score the runs off everyone else. You know, let's just keep him out. I mean, he's that impressive at the moment. As Steyn is in once again, driven through extra cover. Beautiful shot, Vian Lubba. Tall, rangy man, long legs and arms, and he uses them to great extent. Steps right into the drive and eases it away through. They talk a lot about his power, but he's graceful as well.
No, that's a wonderful cricket shot. Vian Lubba just stands tall. And that's about the only time you're going to be able to get a boundary off Dale Steyn at the moment. But he hasn't done anything wrong whatsoever, even that delivery. And Vian Lubba's just stood tall and punched that through that offside extra cover region.
35
really
for 2. Here is Steyn once again, bowls to Lubba. Slower ball beats him completely. He's into the cover drive way too early. Knew it, just couldn't. He's into the shot and he couldn't stop it. And he, like Wesley Marshall before him, just grins and thinks, okay, too good with that ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's so well disguised from Dale Steyn. And they've been quite attacking here. There's a little catching cover in position, Liam Livingston. So specifically for that slower ball.
Here is Steyn once again. Bowls, and it almost works. The slower one, they put Livingston there at short cover. Just as Quinton Friend says, he bowls the slower one. He beats the batsman. He cover drives in the air. Livingston dives, and he's a couple of inches away.
See, I mean, how different could that have been? It's exactly what Dale Steyn would have wanted. The perfect execution of that slower ball as well. And Liam Livingston with a full stretch dive to his right hand side and just not able to get there. And Vian Lubba picks up 2 4s in that over. He's moved on to 15 of 10 now, and the Heat 39 for 2 after 4. So they're right up there in terms of the run rate.
Right, so Sander Magala is going to bowl the 5th over. Just a thought for you, Julia Scully. I've been the left side of my brain, while the right has been concentrating on cricket and describing the action, the left side of my brain has been pondering why it is that I haven't developed the affinity with the Cape Town Blitz. And I think there aren't quite so many local players. It doesn't feel quite like a Cape Town team. I suppose that's short and wide, cut away for 4. Lovely shot from Dane Villas. And Gajima dives at backward point, but it was struck too sweetly. Yeah, and I think that's maybe what. And you know, the fact that Quinton de Kock's one of my favourite cricketers in the world.
Right.
But he's a Joburg boy. You know what I mean? He's Gauteng. He's born and bred Joburg.
Well, Dale Steyn is the Palabora Express. I mean.
No, but he's been surfing in Muizenberg.
Well, he has, but
he's been living here for 10 years.
He played his cricket when he was discovered and all the rest of that. When he was with the Titans.
Here's Magala, flicked away out towards square leg, man out there on the boundary, and they go through for an easy single. I know, but he's been, you know, I mean, I've been seeing him walking his dogs or leaving his dogs on the beach when he's surfing for 10 years. He's become a Cape Townian. But I think that's what it is, though. You know, the 3 overseas stars from Pakistan, and I'm just not so sure that how good they are.
And now?
But
are you telling me you're changing your mind now?
No, I'm not. I like the Pole Rocks.
Okay.
Do you think there are enough Durban boys in the Durban Heat team? Here's Magala once again, and that's full and wide. Squeeze drive behind square on the offside for 4 more. Very, very fine shot from Vian Lubber. Enough of a Durban flavour in the Durban Heat squad?
Well, you see, the Durban Heat, to me, they have David Miller, and they have Andile Pekrakwayo, Keshav Maharaj, Kyle Abbott.
Yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
I reckon.
I think there is too.
I'm going to go with yes.
Bowler, 48 for 2. Quinton Friends lived and worked and played cricket all over the country, so where are your roots?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, it's. Let me put it this way. I obviously being with the Knights, there's no one in the MSL from that point of view. Started my career in Cape Town, so if I had to say I'm going with a blitz, it's probably not right, and that's how I feel about it.
Gala in once again, pull shot, not timed, off the splice of the bat up towards mid-on, and they scramble through for a single as Vernon Philander comes in to do the fielding. But you've got a professional allegiance now with the team.
With the Dolphins, so that's why I feel that's the route I'm going to, or should I say that's the team I'm going to stick to, so I've got to go with the Durban Heat.
Thank you, Quinton.
Yes, Julia. I'm with you on that one.
Got to win tonight.
Got to win tonight.
It's going to be a long end of the campaign.
The weather has not been kind.
No, that's true. 3 washouts hasn't helped. Magala in once again, driven by Villas, and Magala sticks up his left hand, parries it to the left-handed Asif Ali. It picks up, shies at the stumps, but he's managed to scramble back for a dot ball. So 5 overs gone. 49 for 2 Durban Heat, chasing 182 for victory. Cape Town Blitz 181 for 5, 75 from Yanaman Malan, 44 from David Bedingham, and 27 from Liam Livingston, including 3 sixes. So 5 overs gone. They're right up there with the run rate. They have lost a couple of wickets. I just think we're going to be in for a very, very exciting and very tight finish. Over to you. It's Hussain Minak, 6 Sochi Lelewa, and of course with Julia.
Can I pay my SABC TV license at Checkers Money Market?
Yep.
And stand a chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand in Checkers vouchers?
That's right. Simply pay your TV license at any participating Checkers Money Market and stand a chance to win. And soon you'll also be able to register for your TV license in store. Only at Checkers Money Market, in partnership with SABC TV licenses. Competition ends 24 December. T's and C's apply.
The grass at Supersport Park will struggle to grow when the hosts, Tshwane Spartans, face Paul Rocks. Both captains want nothing but victory. It is Heinrich Klaassen versus Faf du Plessis this Friday, 29 November at 5 p.m.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
Be part of the action. Tune in live to SABC3 and Radio 2000. SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
It's Black Friday at Ford, just bigger. With 6 days of unbeatable offers on the new Ranger XLS. Buy any new Ranger XLS double, super or single cab and get a free premium 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan upgrade that covers up to 3,500 parts. T&Cs apply. Offer only valid until 30 November 2019. While stocks last. Test drive a new Ranger XLS at your Ford dealer today.
PPC Newlands is where we are this evening. Match number 18 of the Mzansi Super League. Cape Town Blitz up against the Durban Heat as Wahab Riaz, the left-handed quick, goes over the wicket, but dug out by Lubber. It's long, it's up in the air, it's a difficult one, it's over his head. David Bedingham. Always difficult for those ones. It went up an eternity looking to position himself was Bedingham, but in the end made a meal out of it.
Yeah, you just feel there was a chance. It hung in the air for a long time. He started backpedaling. That was the mistake. The moment you start backpedaling, if you misjudge it, you're in trouble. And that's what happened. In the end, over his head, couldn't get to it. He should have probably turned immediately and run sideways, got to the ball. So technically, just got it slightly wrong there, David Bellingham.
Briaz again, shorter this time, pulled away by Libba. 6 runs, the first of the innings.
Yeah, enjoys the short ball as Bian Libba. Just dragged it down, and that was pulled away off the front foot over mid-wicket for a massive 6. 165 sixes so far in the tournament.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah, I'll forgive you for the first one because you weren't on air. It was the first ball of the innings. Where Marshall hit Vernon Philander for 6.
Vian Libba. He hit that a mile. 10 off this over as Wahab Riaz comes again. Fuller this time. Oh, it's a beautiful shot. Vian Libba. Pass mid-off and past the bowler. A couple of bounces. It's 4 more.
Yeah, this is a little Fuller. He's tried to overcompensate. It was a little leg cutter. Rolled his fingers over the ball. Attempted slower delivery. But Libba was equal to the task and just hit it back over mid-off. 1 bounce into the boundary, 4 runs. So this is going to be an expensive over.
It's the last of the power play.
The blitz. Yeah.
With 1 delivery remaining, 63 for 2 now. The Durban Heat as Riaz. Shorter this time. Left it. Libba thought about it, but he was happy to just see it through to the wicketkeeper. 14 off that over. 63 for 2 now. The Durban Heat in the power play in comparison to 46 for 1. That was mustered by the Cape Town Blitz. Between the two sides, where would you rather be now at this stage, Hussein Marak? It looks like the Durban Heat are ahead at 63 for 2, but we know you lose 1 or 2 wickets, things change.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pretty evenly balanced game at the moment. It looks like they're ahead at the moment. 63 for 2. They've lost 1 more wicket, but run-wise they're ahead. So they're in a good, solid position. But as you say correctly, that you lose 1 or 2 wickets or add 2 wickets to the column there, and suddenly it looks a very, very different scenario. Beautiful sunset, orange glow in the sky. All the clouds are lined with an orange, beautiful glow as the sun dips behind the Table Mountain. And beginning to see the glow of the lights as well.
Magala targets the stumps rather than the pads of Dane Villas, who works him off. He'll pick up a single. 64 for 2. The Durban Heat, who really have had a torrid time in the Mzansi Super League. I say torrid is because they haven't got much game time due to rain around Durban. But
did you get any rain in the Eastern Cape? Because I know there's a massive drought.
Massive drought there in Grafrenet area, Cradock, particularly in Butterworth, Eastern Cape area, Transkei area. So where you would find a lot of farmers and,
Did you get any rain?
No. Just drips and drizzles here and there as Susana Magala comes in, back of a length, driven away by Vian Libba. He's driving them and timing them so sweetly. Here's Vian Libba, who moves along to 38 of 20 deliveries, 68 for 2 now.
It's a good wicket, isn't it? I mean, he's just hit through the line of this ball. It wasn't exactly half volley, back of a length delivery. He's just stood nice and tall. He's tall as well, so just stood up and hit through the line of the ball on the up and found the gap between mid-off and cover, and that will race away for 4 runs. So he's hit a few boundaries now, is he, Jules?
A couple of
maximums. Indeed, 6 fours into 6.
Yep, Vian Libba, that number 3 spot for the Durban Heat, making sure that they are off to a good start. 68 for 2 in the 7th over. Susana Magala straight this time, looking for that Yorker delivery. Stopped by the bowler. Hit straight back at him. Who has also been impressive this Mzansi Super League, Susana Magala. 8 wickets he has up until now. He's always useful if you are, as a captain, under pressure to bring him on, as he's always got those variations, that slower ball bouncer that he looks to, Susana Magala. Bowls a heavy ball as well. Can surprise you.
It does indeed. We've got 3 balls remaining on this over. Into his second over is Magala.
Back of a length. Past the inside edge of Vian Libba, who was looking for the square leg boundary. Dot ball, 68 for 2. Something that Quinny de Kock was also looking to, that square leg boundary.
Yeah, very similar type of stroke that de Kock played and missed a few times. Libba as well, trying to see if he can clear that mid-wicket boundary. Played and missed, the ball flying at a good height to the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, the informal cricket matches continue with the youngsters in every bit of grass area they can find inside PPC Newlands. Sisana Makala comes with the shortish one, picked up nicely by Afia Liba. One bounce over the backward point boundary. 4 more.
Yeah, they tried a slower delivery this time, did Magala. Just a bit of width, which allowed Liba to just open the blade and carve this over the man at point. And this is very well played. He just dragged it down, did Magala. The width a little short as well.
Yeah, Liba using that height of his, isn't he? Whether he's driving or waiting on his crease.
Well, now they're scoring at a decent run rate. The Durban Heat.
Maka. Full of this time, no ball, clipped away, but not past the man. He was inside the circle, but he'll have an opportunity. Vian Liba, there's a front foot no ball.
And the no ball could be costly. Didn't get a run of that particular delivery, but let's have a look now. Free hit.
Looking for that Yorker delivery, isn't he?
Ooh.
Touch and go.
It's very touching. We're having a look at the replay. And I must say, having a look at that replay, I don't think that's a no ball. I think that's there's a part of the heel behind the line. So that's actually very, very tight. Small part of the heel, I thought, behind the line.
Makala. Oh, he runs away. It's a wide. You'll have to bowl it again. You'll have to bowl it again. Yeah, it was touch and go. It's always that landing sort of clip that the fourth umpire, the TV umpire, looks at with that landing. And as he landed, a bit of his heel touched behind or right on the line, Sisana Makala. But obviously DRS or the review system not being operated in the Mzansi Super League. So he still has a free hit as Vian Liba. 42 of 24 deliveries. Glorious evening here in Cape Town. 74 for 2, the Durban Heat. Sisana Makala, straight. It's a full toss, it's up in the air. Wahab Riaz parries it through to the boundary. 4 more.
Oh no. This will hurt. This is going to hurt the Cape Town Blitz, which Liba was 42 of 24, and then he chips one. Firmly hit to mid-off. Wahab Riaz, hands up in the air, drops the catch. And to make matters worse, runs rub salt into the wound. The ball runs away for 4 runs. This is, well, it could be costly.
Yeah, it could be costly.
It could be very, very costly, especially to a batter who's playing well, striking it nicely, and hitting boundaries freely at the moment. When the chance comes, you want to take it. You want to make sure that catch is taken. See the back of him, get a new batter in. That's going to hurt big time. Well, somebody needs to come and get him out.
Yeah, looking at the comparisons at this stage, Cape Town Blitz 51 for 1, Durban Heat 78 for 2. Depending on where and how you look at that, they've lost 1 extra wicket, the Durban Heat, but they are well ahead of the Cape Town Blitz, who were 51 for 1. Yes, Jules?
There was a 50 partnership. 50 coming off 31 balls with 8 fours and a 6.
There you have it. Avium Gijima, a man from East London, who made his way to Western Province and has picked up some awards in recent times. Coming around the wicket to the right-hander Dane Villas, who plays him to deep mid-wicket. They'll look for a single. They'll look for a second as well. They find it comfortably. 80 for 2 now, the Durban Heat.
Bowling around the wicket as well. So with the angle going across, trying to fire it into the pads. This one is hit away down to deep mid-wicket. It's a sweep, but it will just be a couple. Fired in on the bounce to the cock, who tries to catch it but can't, and somebody backing up. So Villas moves to 10, number 46, 82 for 2.
Yeah, also interesting to see that Quinny de Kock is looking to slower bowlers as Avium Gijima comes in. There's an appeal. Half-hearted.
I must say it looked a good shot. It did look a good shot. The only question here, because he's bowling around the wicket, umpire Palika would have been asking about did the ball land outside the line of leg stump? And if it did, then of course that cannot be given out. But I think this was a good shot. It looked just like probably landing in line. We don't have Hawkeye, we don't have a review system, so it's difficult to tell, but that didn't look too bad. But when you're bowling from around the wicket, especially when you're not, as an off spinner, pitching it in line and turning it, you're just looking to skid it on, it's not easy to get LBWs.
99 now to win for the Durban Heat. Into double figures, that deficit of 74 deliveries. As Ngujima comes to the left-handed Libbo, who plays him off his pads onto that vacant. Plenty of area on the leg side. He'll pick up a single, 84 for 2. Yeah, Libbo's played very well here. Hasn't played too extravagant. He's hit the bad balls as Dane Villas again looking for that leg side boundary. Inside edge, and he'll pick up a single around that short fine leg area. It's the end of the first over from Aviwem Kijima. It is 85 for 2 now, the Durban Heat, in search of 182 runs. They've lost 2 wickets, and that of Alex Hales, who is the Englishman playing in this Durban Heat side, 10 of 6. And Wesley Marshall got 12 runs of 5 deliveries. Well, it's been because of some good bowling, smart bowling, a mixture of pace and slower ball bowling from the veteran Dale Steyn. Impressive again tonight, using that slower delivery.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he? And the pace that he bowled at, a little bit of swing, and he just bowled exceptional today. He was very, very difficult to get away, and then uprooted the middle stump and 1 LBW as well. So picked up the 2 wickets to fall. Hales and Marshall, as you mentioned.
Well, the search for One Day Leader is now. The brand new season of One Day Leader on SABC One is looking for you. Are you between the ages of 18 and 25? Do you have a South African ID book? Have you matriculated? Are you involved in a project and have a portfolio? Are you able to communicate well? To enter, visit www.onedayleader.co.za. SABC, enriching minds, enriching lives. Nawaz, fuller this time. Straight to Dane Villas, who drives him down the ground. He'll pick up a single. The deficit now moves to 96. 86 for 2 of the Durban Heat in the 9th over. I like his round-on actions that he always looks to Nawaz, to the right-handed batters, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In conversation with his captain, looking to align his field as he will operate to the left-handed Libbo, who is 3 away from a well-played 50. 47 of 28 deliveries. Coming in at number 3, Vian Libbo. Nawaz. Right, as you would have heard over the stop mic, Sipelele Kasa. Yeah, he was looking for a bit of turn. There was Nawaz pitching it on middle leg, and the ball continuing down the leg side. So I'll have to bowl that one again. 87 for 2 now, the Durban Heat. Nawaz. Shuffle from Vian Libbo. Trying to get to the pitch of the ball. Works it onto the leg side. A comfortable 2 in the end. Good running.
It's a big boundary out there. So get it into the gap and run the first one hard. Comfortably coming back for the second. And Nawaz bowling to the left-hander. It's with the spin. How will Libbo look to play him? Look to take him on or just knock him around?
Nawaz, his third of his opening over. Short at this time and bowl him through the gate. He'll be disappointed with himself here. Libbo shouldn't be going out to that one, but snap between the inside edge and the pads. It's 3 down now.
There we go, and that's the wicket they needed. And that's exactly why I asked the question, how is he going to be looking to play him? Because you just feel with the left-hander, he's looking to target the mid-wicket area, and I think Nawaz also suspected that he just knew that that's what he was looking to do, push this one through arm ball a little quicker, and it was a loose stroke from Libbo, Vian Libbo. So a well-played innings, but in the end he'll be disappointed with the way he went out. And 89 for 3, they lose their 3rd wicket, the Durban Heat.
Libbo made 49 from 28 balls with 8 fours and a 6. He was at the crease for just over half an hour, and the partnership was 65 from 42.
He looked good, didn't he, Jules?
He did.
Vian Libbo.
He did.
He used his height very well, cover drives, and some pull shots from the youngster. 59 of 28. 89 for 3 now, the Durban Heat. It is David Miller who will go out to join his captain, Dane Villas. Both very experienced players. Won't be too intimidated with the task at hand. 93 of 69. With a strike rate of 139. And 298 matches. You almost feel he knows how to pace a chase like this, David Miller.
He does. Remember at Kingsmead when they played the last time? He had a similar type of a situation where the Blitz came out on top and Quinton de Kock rallied his troops very, very well.
Nawaz played off the back foot by Miller, was off the mark immediately. Picks up a single on the deep square leg area. 90 for 3 now, the Durban Heat.
And also on that occasion, the Durban Heat were batting second. Jules, what were the scores in that particular match? Let's see if I can find that scorecard.
Just found it for you.
Cape Town Blitz and Durban Heat, and I think that was at Kingsmead. Durban Heat were in the game and somehow...
So they got a game in Durban.
In fact, I think that was the first one they played in Durban, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're looking at the one was...
17th of November, Sunday.
Nawaz. Be operating to the right hand at Dane Villas. Fuller this time. Slow as, or a bit of dip, and just worked on to the leg side by Villas. He'll pick up a single who also moves to 12 runs. 13 rather. 91 for 3 now, the Durban Heat.
So very close, that particular match. It was 174 they scored, the Blitz. And they came 10 runs short.
174 and they made 164 there.
That's
Durban
right.
Heat.
I'm sure they're happy just to be out there. David Miller looking to work. Nawaz on the leg side. Tight on that off stump was Nawaz. A good over, a good first over. Picked up a single and a couple of singles as well. 91 for 3 now, the Durban Heat after 9 overs with 91 required in their next 11 overs. Well, they've got firepower to come. They've got experience of Ravi Popara and Dilepeshukwayo. And then we're into the bowlers. With all due respect to Keshav Maharaj, we're into the bowlers after Dilepeshukwayo with Marco Janssen, Carl Abbott and Malusi Siboto, the men to follow. 91 for 3, the Durban Heat.
Can I pay my SABC TV license at ShopRite Money Market? Yep. And stand a chance to win a share of 100,000 Rand in ShopRite vouchers?
Yebo. Simply pay your TV license at any participating ShopRite Money Market and stand a chance to win. And soon you'll be able to register for your TV license in store. Only at ShopRite Money Market in partnership with SABC TV licenses. Competition ends 24 December. T's and C's apply.
You know it is a great summer when there's Mzansi Super League action. This weekend is no exception, as Durban Heat battles it out with Nelson Mandela Bay Giants at Kingsmead Stadium. Catch this exhilarating action live on SABC3 and Radio 2000 this Saturday, 30 November at 12 midday.
He's gone for it. That's the one they were looking for.
SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
Welcome back to PPC Newlands, and as you arrive down on one knee, Dane Villas and into the railway stands. Oh, that's big. It's 6 more.
Yeah, and I just said off air that Villas doesn't look like his timing is that sweet at the moment. And the next one, this was a quicker one from Kajima, and it's disappeared towards that railway stand. A huge hit from Villas. 21 he moves to. Miller's still on 1. 99 for 3. Into
85 meters, that one. That was long.
That's a big one.
Right. Kajima under pressure, yep. He's bowled 4, but his first 2 went for a dot. As he comes in again wide this time, Dane Villas shuffling across and just playing him onto that offside rather. He'll pick up a single, and 100 is up for the Durban Heat. 100 for 3. Jules?
45 minutes and 63 balls, 12 fours and 3 sixes.
Strike rate of 63 are the Durban Heat. Well, in comparison at this stage, still well ahead the Durban Heat, but it's that wicket column. As Avuam Gijima comes to the left-handed, David Miller slower, and just watching him, David Miller happy to just drive him down the ground. They've picked up a boundary, a maximum in this over, so as you said earlier on, no need to play some rash shots, just to see it through, and that's what he's done. David Miller seeing that over, a very, very useful one for the Durban Heat. 101 for 3 after 10 overs, as they are in search for 182 and finding their first win, the Durban Heat of the Mzansi 2.0. There's going to be a change in commentary. He'll be joined by Neil Manthorpe and Quinton Friend.
Thank you very much indeed to Six and Hussein. Julia Stowe's with us. 101 for 3, 10 overs gone. The Cape Town Blitz, Julia, after 10 overs was 79 for 1 from, weren't they?
After 10 overs, they were 79 for the loss of 1.
So Durban Heat well ahead, but they have lost a couple of extra wickets. I think with the depth of their batting lineup, they will feel that they are well ahead. Never mind those extra couple of wickets. Here's Mohammad Nawaz, left arm spin, bowls to David Miller, drives down the ground towards long off, and they go through for a single. I mean, the asking rate is 8 and over, just a touch over 8 and over, Quinton Friend. You would imagine, provided the Durban Heat don't lose wickets here, that they're in control of this game at the moment. They're not bossing it, but they certainly are in control. As quick single, David Miller has to dive. Backward point and throw came in from Sisanda Magala, who moved pretty quickly there for the big man, and they were struggling. But with the experience of David Miller and Dane Villas, it's just stay in control. Here's Mohammad Nawaz. Easier said than done. Very easy to say in the commentary box, of course. And down the wicket comes David Miller, flicks it off his toes out towards deep backward square leg, and they go through for a single. But if you were the coach sitting in the dugout, you'd be saying, just don't do anything silly.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, but it's the innings of Vian Libber, that 49 of 28 has really got them into a position where they're well up or ahead of the rate at this stage and only needing 8 and over.
Nawaz in once again, driven over the top of extra cover quite exquisitely by Dane Villas. It's a shot that he plays as well as anybody, I think, stepping outside leg stump, hitting inside out over extra cover with just enough loft. He was in complete control. That's the gap he wanted, and he hit it.
Yeah, just throwing up a little bit more from Mohammad Nawaz, and what a fantastic cricket shot that is over the extra cover region. Dane Villas, absolute perfection.
108 for 3 now, and a little sweep shot, top edge, and it's running away down to the boundary for 4 more. Mohammad Nawaz looks distinctly unimpressed with that, but Dane Villas once again knew exactly what he was doing, in complete control. The reverse sweep, I mean, he plays it so well, you sometimes forget to say it. I mean, he sweeps as well reverse as he does conventionally. It's not, it's the result he wanted, not necessarily the top edge that he wanted, but he was playing the reverse sweep because of the field, and he picks up 4 for it. Nawaz in once again. Dane Villas pushes it down towards long on, and they go through for a single. It looks like Dane Villas is saying, I am playing a captain's innings tonight. I am running this show, and I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to take my team in control of I'm going to take my team home. So 11 overs gone, 113 for 3. The asking rate's down to just over 7.5. We'll take the news headlines, be back with the next over in a moment.
SABC News, independent and impartial.
Good evening. Civil society organization Wise for Africa has welcomed the decision by President Cyril Ramaphosa to withdraw from a scheduled interview with the Johannesburg-based radio station. The presidency says Ramaphosa withdrew after noting concerns raised by Wise for Africa and Soul City regarding the character of the show's host, Given Mkari. Meanwhile, Metro Rail in the Western Cape says it expects about 43 trains to be operational tomorrow after the latest arson incident. The passenger rail service was dealt another blow earlier today, with 18 coaches being gutted. 4 possible suspects believed to be linked to the latest attack have been identified. However, no arrests have yet been made. And further afield, security forces in Iraq have killed at least 22 anti-government protesters and wounded dozens others in the southern city of Nasiriyah. The authorities have been trying to clear a bridge that demonstrators had occupied for days. For more on these and other stories, go to sabcnews.com, download the SABC News app, or simply follow our updates on Twitter at Radio 2000ZA. I'm Nandika Bukas, and I'll be back with the next update just after 9.
Experience the magic of parenting at the Mama Magic Baby Expo in partnership with SABC Education. The expo has everything you need for bump, baby and tot. Enjoy massive Black Friday specials all weekend from hundreds of exhibitors. Listen to expert advice and stand a chance to win a pregnancy starter pack worth over 100,000 Rand. Kids can enjoy the on-stage entertainment and fun play areas. The Mama Magic Baby Expo, 28 November to 1st December at the Ticket Pro Dome.
As the going gets tough in the 2019 edition of the Mzansi Super League, reigning champions Geordie Stars will fight with all they have on home soil at the Imperial Wanderers, where they take on Paarl Rocks, while visitors Rocks plot an upset against the City of Gold Stars. SABC 3 and Radio 2000 brings you this exciting action this Sunday, 1 December, live at 9:30 a.m. SABC is the official broadcaster of the Mzansi Super League. Fast, fun for all.
The Free State's Madeira Flower Festival, Africa's biggest flower festival, is back. From 28 November to 1st December, Paris will transform into a world of floral festivities. Come join us for the Flower Forum, Charity Golf Day, Flower Celebration, Night Concert and Powerboat Showcase. But the highlight will definitely be the awe-inspiring Flower Parade with 500 dancers, Madeira performers and more. Entry is free. The Free State Madeira Flower Festival, a world-class floral extravaganza.
Durban Heat captain Dane Villas is absolutely on fire. He's just hooked Wahab Riaz for 6 and he is flying along. We're talking about don't do anything silly, just take it easy. Durban Heat have got this game under control. Dane Villas says, sod that. We're going for the bonus point by the looks of it. He's absolutely flying along. Here's Wahab Riaz into him again and chips it up into the air and it falls just short of David Bedingham. But my goodness me, Villas has leapt up to 39 from just 26 deliveries, 3 4s and 2 6s, but it's been the last couple of overs that he's decided to just get way ahead of the game. 7.5 is the asking rate now. The current scoring rate's 10.2.
Yeah, and I don't actually feel that he's been playing anything extravagant. I mean, it's normal batting, and it's normal good batting from Dane Villas. And just showing his experience, I think, it's so crucial to have an experienced guy like Dane Villas out in the middle at this situation.
3 men on the leg side boundary now. Wahab Riaz into Villas once again. Strikes him on the thigh pad, back of a length, and trickles out towards backward point. Mengala keeps them down to just 1 leg by.
And in saying the way that, Villas is playing, it allows David Miller as well to just get himself in nicely, and really get the pace of the surface and really set it up, between these two. If they're able to take it through to over 15, 16, you feel that they'll really be in the pound position to get over the line this evening. And it would be a much needed win for the Durban Heat. They really do need a victory.
And I'm not being facetious about the bonus point either, because target's 182, so they need another 60, and they need to get them in 16 overs. So that's another 4 overs. 60 in 4 overs is, it's a lot, okay, but do you know what I mean? One over of 20, and suddenly they're, it's a possibility. Not that I think they're going for it. But Dane Villas now on the back foot to Mohamed Nawaz, punches it out towards deep mid-wicket. It's possible. We've seen it happen.
No, we've seen it happen, and it is possible. But I think at this stage where the Durban Heat are at, and with 6 points on that table, you just feel that they'd take a win any day just to get themselves to 10, just to keep themselves in reach with those playoff spots and not lag too far behind.
Here is Mohamed Nawaz, and there's edge. That's a genuine edge from David Miller from the left arm spinner. No slip in, it's gone straight through where first slip would have been, and it's trickling away down to the boundary for 4. There's a sense of deja vu about this game because the Durban Heat were in a position of similar control against the Cape Town Blitz in the first game between these two teams at Kingsmead. Dale Steyn came back, he had 2 overs left, he picked up 2 wickets, he completely changed the course of the innings, and in the end the Heat lost. But that's down the wicket goes David Miller. Didn't time that at all. Chips it halfway towards long on, and they go through for a single. We'll have to wait and see whether this is... Dane Villas was quite not outspoken, but just quite confidently spoken yesterday when he talked about exacting revenge for that defeat. But he spoke more about their own shortcomings. He now tucks a delivery behind square on the leg side. He said, we made mistakes in that game. We should have won it, and we're determined to put it right. And he is, isn't he?
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, it comes from really experienced batters, because they were chasing in that game. And I mean, when you've got the likes of guys like Villas and Miller in at the moment, Popara, Pechlukwaya to come, I mean, it's experienced players.
Nawaz in again, quick delivery, heading down the leg side, pull shot from Miller. It's his pad, pops up into the air. No
so you just expect him to be a little bit more clever in a run chase. When things are pretty comfortable in the chase. Because they were pretty comfortable in that specific game, and then ended up throwing it away.
Nawaz in once again, and this almost a mix-up in the running as Dane Villas came sprinting down from the non-striker's end, but decided wisely against trying to steal a run. There was a moment of concern for the Cape Town Blitz when Dale Steyn spent the last 2 overs in the dugout. We wondered whether he had an injury, but he's now back on the field. Not only is he back on the field, it looks like Quinton de Kock has decided that it's roll the dice time, and Steyn is coming back, I think, earlier than de Kock would have wanted him to, coming back in the 14th over.
Yeah, I think it probably split it up nicely. If he bowls the 14th over, he'll probably come and bowl one of the last 2 as well.
Might be too late by then.
It might be, but if he picks up a wicket here, all of a sudden things change again. And I think that's exactly why Captain Quinton de Kock has gone to his mainstay bowler in Dale Steyn, because he knows he needs, if he's able to pick up a wicket here, he feels it just gives the Blitz an opportunity to open an end and see if they're able to strike once more, maybe 2 quick wickets, and that just changes things slightly in the favour of the Blitz then again.
So Dale Steyn it is, 14th over, slower ball immediately to Dane Villas, who spots it and chops it away to backward point, where big Sisanda Magala does the tidying up, keeps him down to a single. 130 for 3, so the 52 required from 6.5 overs. It's an asking rate of just a tiny bit over 7.5 and over. And on this pitch, in these conditions, I must say that is far from intimidating. 7.5, the old 5.5. When you started your career, it would be like 5.5 and over.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they are cruising. They're going along very, very nicely at the moment, all the Durban Heat.
Here is Steyn trying to change that, and Miller plays defensively. Dale Steyn dives to his left, knocks it on, and whereas if he'd stopped it cleanly it would have been a dot ball, the knock-on costs him a single. Miller 11 off 11, Dane Villas 42 off 31. Heaps and heaps of batting to come for the Durban Heat. Be very, very surprising if they were to make a mess of this run chase from this situation.
Yeah, it would be. It really would be. They know how important this encounter is to the Heat.
Here is Steyn once again. Oh, full toss, and looked like it was waist height, or possibly a little higher than waist height. Villas turns it away down towards fine leg for a single, and well, at least the umpires are being consistent, because there was a full toss that was above waist height when the Blitz were batting, and was that?
I think it's just below, just below.
Okay.
So a fair call from square leg umpire Sipalele Gaza.
David Miller's just playing a very sensible, might even say cautious innings so far. Steyn is into him, bowls the bouncer, slower ball bouncer. Miller wanted some of it, and he was halfway into the hook shot and then dropped the hands and let it go. No, we don't need to do that, he says. David, don't, just leave it. It's Dale Steyn.
Yeah, they know how important it is, because Dale Steyn, he's been magnificent. Not just in this specific game, he's been magnificent in the tournament. Leading wicket taker as well. 2 for 17 at the moment. They know how important it is. Maybe just see off Dale Steyn. 2 more deliveries in the 3rd over.
It's the 14th over of the innings, and Steyn is up to the crease again. Slower ball, beautifully bowled, wonderful control. David Miller once again has the look of a man who's been told a joke in Armenian. doesn't get the punchline at all. It's like, what happened there? That's a terrific delivery. What did you get the speed on that? Couldn't it be much more than 100?
It's going to be between 100 and 105 again, like he usually does. He just bowls it so well. I just think
I spoke to him before the tournament, Quinton, sorry, and he said, I've really been working on my skills, and you can never stop improving. And I have to say, I thought, yeah, come on, Dale, you're 36. Quick bouncer this time. Miller tries to duck out of the way of it, but hits him on the shoulder. He's gone from 105 to 145 in 2 deliveries there, and David Miller just couldn't get out of the way of that one quickly enough. That is a magnificent over, and just from the evidence of your own eyes, he was right, wasn't he? He was serious. He said, I am getting better. Been working on my skills, and I'm getting better. And I'm going to be. He wants to prolong his T20 career till he's 40.
Yeah, and by all means, there's no reason why not. I mean, the way he's bowling at the moment, he's bowling he's averaging above 140 Ks, and I mean, it's just brilliant to see that he's running in with so much control, so much intensity. It's right up there again. The energies look good. The change up of pace, the skill levels that he's been working on, he's perfected that now, and he's brought something different. He's brought something new to his armory in T20 cricket, and I think that can play a major role in his in prolonging that T20 cricket. From his point of view.
Reverse sweep from Dane Villas for 4 as Mohammad Nawaz, the left arm spinner, is into the attack once again. Now, it's a peculiar choice of shot. He does play it brilliantly. As I said, I honestly don't think there's much difference in the effectiveness with which he reverse sweeps than conventional sweeps. But there are 3 fielders he's got to beat.
Yeah,
and he did.
And he did. I mean, he picks the gap to perfection, doesn't he? But that's the type of shot that he likes to play. And when someone like Nawaz, who's left arm coming around the wicket, if it's not on the stumps, you feel it's a bit of a freebie if it's outside off.
136 for 3 as Nawaz is in once again. Dane Villas chips it out towards deep mid wicket, and then wants a second run, but Viwe and Gajima in very quickly. Just 3 runs off that Dale Steyn over, and the asking rate went from 7.5 to almost 8.4, just because there were only 3 runs off the over. But the Durban Heat have just said let's just not take any chances against Dale Steyn, haven't they? They really have.
No, they've just he's bowled well, and I mean, I think you've got to give it to him. He's really stuck to his guns.
Short, wide cut by David Miller for a single.
And at the moment, the Durban Heat are sticking to theirs. They're showing a lot of maturity in the run chase, and I think having the experience of Miller and Villas at the crease, it just shows in how you should be going about things. Trying to chase down that total, and they're really playing the situation well. They're respecting deliveries when they are good.
Nawaz in once again, another reverse sweep, and Villas is going to be run out. Oh, he's played the reverse sweep to David Beddingham, one of 2 backward points. Beddingham has reacted. He set off for a run, and Beddingham's got the throw in very quickly. Quinton de Kock has got the bails off. Dane Villas was diving in desperation. I think he's run out. I'm pretty sure that Cape Town Blitz reckon they've got their man as well. And just as we were talking about not doing anything stupid, hang on, I think he might have made it. Has he got? But nonetheless, even if he is safe, that was stupid. It's a strange choice of shot, not because he can get out, because he plays it so well, but there are 3 men at what becomes backward point, and or 3 men at what becomes square leg with the reverse sweep. I think he's back, isn't he?
Yeah, in between frames. It's going to be in between frames whether he does get back or not. At that stage, it seems like it's a tight call, but in saying that, you probably feel he's going to get benefit of the doubt here, and purely just because Quinton de Kock's glove, when it touches the stump, the bail actually does not actually lift out of its groove as yet.
Yes.
And then the next frame, then it only goes, and
by then it's an inch in.
It's an inch in. So he's just made it back. But it's a good piece of fielding from Beddingham to get rid of it as quick as he did. And Quinton de Kock actually thought that he had Villas run out. He really did. But if it wasn't for that massive dive from Dane Villas to get back in the crease, he definitely would have been found wanting.
Serious technique that to be able to dive that well, though. You know, with the bat at full extension and grounded. Peel for leg before wicket as Villas plays the orthodox sweep. And not out, says umpire Superleli Gaza. 50 partnership up with that single. 139 for 3. Last ball of the 15th over coming up. It was just it was a strange piece of cricket from Dane Villas now. I mean, the game is okay. They need 8.3 and over, so it's not like not a stroll in the park, but you don't need to take chances. And I repeat, it's not that playing a reverse sweep is taking a chance for Dane Villas. It's the fact that there are 3 fielders in that position. Swing and a miss from David Miller. That really was a full-blooded cover drive, and he misses it into the gloves of Quinton de Kock. The Cape Town Blitz, in their 3 victories, they've made a little bit of a habit. Last word from you before we hand back to the other guys, but they've made a habit of falling behind in the game before their big guns, their big main guys, drag them back into it. They have to do the same again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, from a bowling point of view for the Blitz here, I mean, we've looked at, Dale Steyn, he's gone 3 overs, 2 for 17 already. He's going to be finishing up his spell right now. And I mean, I would rather maybe look to keep him for 1 more over later, because he's going through such a nice period at the moment. Do the Heat just want to try and see him off for those 6 deliveries?
I'll take 1 delivery, and then Dale Steyn is in, and the top edge, and it's run down to third man into the dugout for 4. Not what Dale Steyn wanted. He's very, very upset with that. And 50 to Dane Villas. Brilliant innings from the Durban Heat captain. And without further ado, to take you through to the end of the match, he'll be with Hussain Manak, 6 Sochilelwa, and Julius Scully.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Deft touch by Dane Villas. As you guys have been saying, really aren't chasing it here. They're just dealing with it sensibly, these two, as Dale Steyn comes in again. A slower delivery, straighter this time, and just worked off the pads by Dane Villas, who pick up a single. It's been sensible.
It has, and Villas started off slowly. He started with a little scratch. He wasn't timing the ball well, but now he's absolutely flourishing. He's blossoming. But it's as Neil Mantov just mentioned, it's a captain's innings. He looks very determined. He's you can just see the body language, the facial expressions. He's basically guiding Miller along, and he's saying, listen, we're going to win this game. You're going to get me 1, and let's just knock it around and wait for the loose ball. They need 38 of 28 deliveries at the moment. And this partnership, Julia, what's it worth?
Well, the partnership just went to 50, and Dane Villas just went to 50 as well. So I'll read them to you.
As Dale Steyn comes in, he's final over the day, quicker this time onto the pads. Worked away by David Miller on the leg side. I'll pick up a single. No, I'll pick up 2 rather. 148 for 3. Durban Heat.
Okay, so the 50 partnership came off 38 balls, 26 minutes, 4 fours, 2 sixes, 37 from Dane Villas and 12 from David Miller. And then the 50 for Dane Villas came off 37 balls, 52 minutes with 5 fours and 2 sixes.
Thank you. So Dale Steyn also bowling his final over, 2 for 24 so far.
Steyn short to David Miller, who looked like he wanted to play it this time. The previous over, he was happy to just see it through. This time he's looking to play it over the wicket-keeper and ramp shot.
It's a beautiful slower ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slower bouncer. Miller's trying to play a cut, run it down to third man and misses. So he's 14 off. Jules, 18? Is that 18?
14 from 18 with
14
1
from 18 deliveries.
But it's been a fantastic performance by Dale Steyn into his 4th over, 2 balls remaining, charging in quicker this time onto the pads. And I would assume umpire Palakele will signal leg byes for 147 for 3. But as we've been saying throughout the afternoon, or rather this bowling innings, this effort from Dale Steyn, great use of pace, great use of the cutter, great use of the wicket itself in looking for the short ball, looking for the fuller deliveries, but obviously knowing when to turn it up a notch, which is really what has bamboozled the batters today as he comes in to wrap up his allocation of 5 overs today. Brilliant from Dale Steyn, who trots over to David Miller. A bit of a hug, and just to acknowledge what has been a fantastic outing from Dale Steyn. 4 overs, 2 for 25, 148 for 3 of the Durban Heat.
Yeah, that's the end of Dale Steyn's over there. He's been bowling brilliantly so far in this tournament. And I just wonder, bowling him out in the 16th over, holding him back. Well, that would have been a decision that Quinton de Kock would have had to make. He's probably thinking to himself, Steyn is bowling so well. Bowls a quiet over, picks up a wicket here. Suddenly that run rate moves up to 9, 10, and then we're in the game. At the moment, it's 34 to win of 24 deliveries. And, well, at the moment, looks to me like the Durban Heat are very much cruising to victory, but one over or a few balls, a wicket or two can easily change that.
148 for 3. We'll be back in a bit.
Don't miss Tandizo Mazwai's intimate show live at the Lyric Theatre, Gold Reef City on Saturday, the 30th of November.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having us here. My name is Tandizo Mazwai.
For one night only, catch King Ta up close and personal. Tickets at CompuTicket from 250 Rand. This is a Baseline Live production presented by Radio 2000. Our music, your memories.
Watch EFC this Saturday on SABC3. See the epic finale title fight with the Italian beastie Barbie, Chiara Penko, as she went to war with Poland's warrior queen, Karolina Wojcik. Plus, Petey Coxon faces the formidable Justin Smith. EFC, every Saturday at 8 p.m. on SABC3. Brought to you by SABC Sport.
Welcome back to PPC Newlands. Run chase underway here at Durban Heat. 150 for 3, 32 away. And they've just got 23 deliveries to get over the line for the first time in this Mzansi Super League 2.0. They've got the captain out there, was on 57. Maka goes past the outside edge. Villas looking to run it down to third man. Dot ball. Alongside by Hussein Manak, Julian Scully. It's been a measured run chase by the Durban Heat, realizing the significance of just registering a win in this tournament, not looking for bonus points. It was never in reckoning in this specific match, but just to win and win comfortably, get a win. They've picked up points along the way due to some matches being abandoned due to rain, so they would want, as a side, just to get a win at this back end of the Mzansi Super League. Match number 18, where we have 32 matches in the Mzansi Super League. 32 to win, 22 deliveries. Makala outside the Rostamp, looking to work him was Dane Villas, but he'll gather it himself. Susana Magala happy to give them the single. 3 off this over. 3 balls remaining, 151 for 3. Yeah, Dale Steyn bowled out. You felt perhaps Quinton de Kock was looking to break this partnership of Villas and Miller, which would have exposed the likes of Rovi Popara and Dilepe Hlukwaya, who are also capable of chasing down a total with very minimal effort. But it was making sure, from Quinton de Kock's point of view, getting one of Dane Villas or David Miller.
Yeah, that as well as, just push that asking rate up a bit. At the moment it's 31 of 21 deliveries, and Palander's still got 2. Magala's bowling his 3rd over now. Riaz has still got 2 remaining. The chances are he may bowl at the other end.
Makala to the left-hander, David Miller shorter this time. Gets him on the shoulder. Bit of an inside edge as well towards that backward point region. They'll pick up a single, not quite timing it. David Miller 14 of 20. Dane Villas 58 of 42, 152 for 3 now, the Durban Heat.
Yeah, Miller's missed a lot of deliveries, hasn't he? He's been hit on the body, he's played and missed a lot, so just not picking the ball up, timing it at all. 14 of 20. Fortunately for the Durban Heat, Villas at the other end is batting very well.
Yeah, very well.
He's now finding the middle of the bat, and he's playing a proper captain's innings. He will need some support, you feel, at the other end. So Magala is in.
He charges in. Straight this time. Picked off the pads by Dane Villas. A couple of bounces. 4 more towards that fine leg boundary. That's where he wasn't looking there. He was looking over square leg, but he found that thickish edge to Dane Villas, and he picked up 4.
Yeah, and it's just on the pads, isn't it? And what Magala's trying to do is go Yorker length into the pads, but he's probably just got the length a little wrong. And Willis has managed to get some bat onto it and hit this through the leg side. There's a big gap. Fine legs up in the circle, so that runs away for 4. So that will change the equation.
On 14, Miller. On 62, Dane Villas. Bakal, back of a length, slow, and he opens the bait. As Dane Villas, he'll pick up a single to end the over. 157 for 3 with 3 overs remaining in this run chase. 25 to win for an easier equation of 18 deliveries for the Durban Heat side. The rain has stayed away this afternoon, which means that there is an opportunity for them to pick up their first win of the Mzansi Super League 2.0. Magala today has yet to pick up a wicket, but has been impressive as well. 3 overs and 32 runs off his 3 overs.
Yeah, well, what they need now is a wicket. At the moment, they desperately need a wicket. The Cape Town Blitz, they can probably see this game slipping away from them because Villas is on 63. He's the big wicket at the moment. They need to get him out. He's playing really well. And looks like he wants to be there at the end, hit the winning runs. And 157 for 3, 25 to win of 18 deliveries. It looks easy at the moment. If a wicket falls, that may just change.
Yep. It is Wahab Riaz who's brought into the attack, the left-handed. Quick from Pakistan, who will be bowling to a left-hand, right-hand combination. Villas, captain's innings this evening, 63 of 44, but that was at the back end of a very important knock, very rapid knock from Vian Libba. 49 of 28 that really got them going, the Durban Heat. And if you look at the comparisons, as Wahab Riaz comes in straight at the stumps and clipped away by Dane Villas, they'll look for 2 because it's deep towards that square leg boundary. They'll pick it up comfortably. 159 for 3 the Durban Heat. 79 for 1 after 10 overs were the Cape Town Blitz. 101 for 3 the Durban Heat. But at the end of 15 overs, it is neck and neck, just 2 runs separating the 2 sides. So the catch-up work being done there by the Cape Town Blitz towards that 15 over mark, and that was Livingston really finding those boundaries together with Bedingham. But it's the last 5. It's the last 17 deliveries. How can they get themselves over the line? Yeah, the Durban Heat. They've got their captain at the other end. David Miller's also out there. 2 very handy men as Wahab Riaz comes wide. It comes from the back of the umpire as if he's bowling at the other end, but just runs behind the umpire upon delivery, and this time wide outside the off stump. A miss for Dane Villas, who was disgusted with himself.
Yeah, Wahab Riaz bowling, running in at an angle, coming around the wicket and bowling very wide of the crease. And at that angle, getting a bit of swing away from the right hander. Villas tries to go at that one outside off stump, misses it. And a little bit of a fumble from De Kock. 23 now of 16, 159 for 3.
Delsko, boy, he had to improvise. He had to change his line. He was looking to hit it over fine leg, but the ball stayed outside the off stump, which meant he had to open the blade. Dane Villas smiled from the dugout. Brilliant shot in the end.
Yeah, he anticipated the Yorker coming in. In fact, it was more than a Yorker. It was a full toss. And this is beautifully executed by Dane Villas. Gets down, plays the till scoop over his head, over the keeper's head, maximum. And very, very well played. And you just feel with that boundary.
Wahab Riaz, thickish outside edge, down to third man. He'll pick up a single. Yeah, with that boundary, you almost feel.
You almost feel that they've got the game now well within their control.
Classic run chase from the Durban Heat. One player who was coming up in that top 3 who really got things going. 49 of 28 was Vian Libba, which meant the middle order just needed to see it through, nudge it around, pick up the boundaries, pick up the singles, and find yourself at 16 runs to win. Or 14 balls now, the Durban Heat, as Wahab Riaz, shortest delivery, a top edge, it's up in the air, men underneath it. ball. David Miller well inside his crease. Now 11 of 10 balls. 171 for 3.
Well, a few dot balls and a wicket. Oh, put the cat among the pigeons. They should cruise it. They really should get there now. Comfortably. Wickets in hand. 7 wickets in hand. Fellas batting beautifully at the moment.
Whether they still had Dale Steyn in the bag with 1 over remaining, you still would feel that Durban need to have enough to get over the line. But yeah, Dale Steyn bowled out. Bowled well today. 2 for 25. As the son of Magala continues. Fuller this time. Driven away by David Miller. There's protection out in the deep. He will pick up a single. 172 for 3. Now the Durban Heat. To win off 9 balls.
It's a good Yorker from Magala. Gets it right in the block.
White.
Left her shack to go and sell in Joburg in the CBD, only for her son to leave the candle still lit. And it's a classic story. Her shack caught fire.
So that this is the start as Wabria is short this time, and David Miller happy to just see it through to Quinton de Kock, dot ball. So they'll want to continue this. The Durban Heat, barring the weather, in fact, from Durban. I'm going to ask you, Jules, just how many more home games do they have? Durban Heat.
Hold on a second, I'll have a look for you.
Please do. 1 to win.
They have
4 balls. Dane Villas on 75. David Miller on 25. Wabrias coming over the wicket to David Miller, who draws it onto the ground, just wanting that single, not wanting to go aerial, wanting to get over the line, and so they do. The Durban Heat finally in the Mzansi Super League. In match number 18, they win by 7 wickets up against the Cape Town Blitz, who are still the favourites in this Mzansi Super League. 3 defeats in 3 matches. Well, it's time for Cape Town Blitz to look at other options. And Quinton de Kock and the coaching staff, but an excellent effort by the Durban side. 182 for 3 with 3 balls remaining in their run chase. 7-wicket win by the Durban Heat, but their captain, Dane Villas, sensational today. Knew when to find those boundaries, knew when to look for the singles and the doubles, but equally had a partner at the other end in David Miller, who understood the situation and the importance of him being there.
Yeah, I think what is important for me and what made this run chase also more impressive was that Villas actually started off struggling. He didn't start off timing the ball well. He battled to find the middle of the bat. Every time he played the ball, he struggled. You could see he was frustrated, but he kept going. And I think that's the hallmark of somebody who's really determined to do well. And remember last year he was with the Josie Stars, he captained there. He's a good captain. He's experienced, played a lot of county cricket, international player, and he really played that captain's innings today, guided the ship and took it through to the safety of the shore. And that's what you need. I think, when you're in a run chase, it was a decent score as well they posted. I mean, 181. Yeah. You really have to bat well to get 181 in 20 overs at Newlands. It's well above par, so this run chase was special, and they did it in style as well, comfortably in the end. I mean, knocking it off right in the last over, but no real fuss. I mean, it could have gone horribly wrong. Villas gets out and suddenly something changes. 1 or 2 good overs, but in the end, I think it was a very well calculated, well played run chase, and credit to Villas, who I think probably should be man of the match on this occasion. But if you go back to the Cape Town Blitz innings, I mean, Janneman Malan also played very well. He had a good knock there. It just wasn't enough for them in the end.
So, excuse me. Yeah, it wasn't enough. 75 of 42 deliveries, Janneman Malan. Quinton de Kock, 10 runs of 15. Bedingham, 44 of 33. Livingston, again, coming out today, finding those boundaries with those long levers. 27 of 17. Asif Ali, 1 of 3. But Vernon Philander, also very handy today with his contribution of 27, which really propelled the Cape Town Blitz, who at some stage looked like they were struggling just to get to 165, which Julius Scully pointed out was the average here at this ground, PPC Newlands. But 181 for 5 is what they could muster, the Cape Town Blitz. And pick up the bowlers for the Durban Heat. It was Kyle Abbott, 2 for 32. Andile Petlukwayo, 1 for 22. Janssen, 1 for 41. But someone else who was very instrumental, Keshav Maharaj, didn't pick up the wickets, but in his 4 overs, 0 for 24. In reply, Durban Heats needed 182. Didn't get off to the best of starts, losing Alex Hales for 10 runs of 6 deliveries. Wesley Marshall came and went, 12 runs of 5 deliveries. Vian Libba, who I feel today really set it up for the experienced Dane Villas and David Miller in getting 49 of 28. We're going to go downstairs now just to have a word with Janneman Malan, with one of the players. I'm not quite sure. Vian Libba, yeah. Vian Libba, just to give us a feel of that innings.
I'm very happy, obviously, with the win. As a team, we've been close a couple of times now. The close games keep to come our ways, but I think turning it around tonight was good.
Obviously, a frustrating lack of cricket. You've been rained out 3 times, so it's got to feel good to get the runs under the belt.
Yeah, I think whenever you can contribute, you're happy. I think obviously the rain we can't really control. It has been a bit frustrating, but it's good. We've had a couple of games on the bounce now, and we're sort of starting to put a few good performances together.
Well, it was a fantastic innings to watch. Congratulations to you and the team. Look forward to seeing you head back to Durbs and hopefully continue the form.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Fantastic from Vian Libber, 49 of 28 in his scores, helping his side where they went over the line, winning by 7 wickets, thanks to their captain who scored brilliantly today. I'm going to ask Jules just to give us his finals numbers, Dane Villas and David Miller.
Sure, Dane Villas was 75 from 52 balls with 6 fours and 3 sixes, and David Miller was 26 from 27 with 1 4 and 1 6.
Jules, thank you very much for today. Thank you very much, Hus. We'll be back tomorrow. There's more action as we enter yet another weekend in the Mzansi Super League. We are in match number 19 at SuperSport Park Centurion at 5:30 with our build-up at 5:15. It is the Tshwane Spartans welcoming the Paul Rocks. From us here on Radio 2000, it's good night and thank you.